Actually,
slow. Yeah, I'm watching the rise, and I wouldn't say I'm shocked, cause I'm hardly surprised. This one's for the ride, this one's for who knew I'd make it, just needed some time. This one's for my wife, could've left 1,000 times just so by my side. This one's for the grind, I knew it would happen, just had the strength in my mind.
It's the Travel OG, and welcome to the Black Manosphere Conclave 5.0!
We got started in 2021 in Atlanta, united in the pursuit of excellence in all things. It's been one hell of a ride.
Can I tell you what's on my mind? 'Cause I've been thinking about it for quite some time. Hey, can you give me a moment to declare my love? Can I tell you what's on my mind?
We're now focusing more on opportunities for men, in particular passport bros. Guys who go abroad, they want to have a different lifestyle, they want to have a different achievement abroad. Oh yeah, there's without a doubt the narrative has changed for us greatly.
I just finished speaking and having a chance to tell individuals about how to live the American dream outside of America. And I was here to help so many men when it comes to understanding what they need to do in order to relocate.
With the political climate, things that are happening worldwide, guess what? Nobody's coming to save us. So it is indicative that we all bound together, tighten up like a fist, and strike a mighty blow against everything that's fighting to stop us, man.
It's nothing but good, positive people, good, positive energy with one goal in mind, and that is to make money, get the hell out the Matrix, and enjoy your life. You dig? So shout out to all of y'all. Theme music!
Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is your man Marcus A. Brown, and I'm here to tell y'all that I just got done with my first consultation with the brother Andre of Love Crossing Borders. I just wanted to give him his praises. I need y'all to do two things if you haven't already. If you haven't, subscribe to his YouTube channel, Love Crossing Borders. Also, if you are going to Colombia, if you're thinking of going anywhere, traveling internationally, please consider booking a consultation with the OG Andre of Love Crossing Borders. You will not be disappointed. And y'all, get in tune with him if you haven't already. Tell him MAB sent you. Peace.
Where are all the black men? And I'm not talking about the scammers, the drug dealers, the robbers, and the crooks.
well, actually,
they're here with Andre and Andre's Love Crossing Borders. Shout out to all you gentlemen that are here today and all you ladies that dared to tread this channel. We got a good topic tonight, especially the week that we're going to be talking about the Black Manosphere Conclave throughout the week. So halfway through the show, we're going to talk about the website. We're going to talk about speakers. And halfway through the show, we're going to talk about all the other things that have come along with the Black Manosphere Conclave. Shout out to all you guys that are here. But I've been working on this particular episode for a few months. And it's about advice that us older men wish that we had when we were younger, especially when it comes to travel. You guys know this is a travel channel, and I kid you not, the advice that you're going to hear tonight, I wish someone told me about life in general, about investments in general when I was younger, as well as investing in myself by way of travel. So we're going to have fun tonight. If I was young, I'd have my pen and paper out if I was you. Because some of the advice that you're going to get tonight, you're not going to get anywhere else except from us old heads. So be ready, be surprised, and be prepared for some of the great information that you guys are going to receive tonight. But before we do that, let's get ready for some shout outs. Let's get ready for some shout outs. Yes, sir. Glad to see you gentlemen are here with us on this wonderful Wednesday. Wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. We had to park our car today because normally in Colombia, everybody has to park their car at least one day a week based on your driver's license plate. So if your number ends on a certain number, then that's the day that you have to park your car from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Because of what happened with the earthquake, we have to park our car for the next couple of weeks, 2 days a week. So tonight is one of those days in which we have to park our car. Shout out to all you guys that are here. Shout out to my brother Florida Gator in the building. The Florida boys right out the gate coming with you, showing some love. We go right here to the.
We in Tampa, 813, Trigger City. Let's get it.
He said, "Good day, Dre." He said, "I hope you and Andre are well and healthy. Hope you both are safe also." We are there. We're getting there. As you can tell, each day I get more livelier. Andrea does too. We have our evening prayer and Bible study and just time together. And yesterday was our first, I think, second day being back here. The insurance adjusters came here yesterday. Let me turn this down just a tad bit. The insurance adjusters came here yesterday, or actually today, to overlook the place and see what needs to be worked on, as well as the plumbing and the gas. So there's a lot of work that still needs to be done, but we're not complaining. We're not complaining. We're still donating as well. We're still donating to other organizations that are out there that are helping others in the community. So shout out to all you guys that are supporting that as well. And shout out to Kenny. What?
We in Tampa.
No, I hit the wrong one. Shout out to Kenny, the Ohio player himself. Hope everything is going great with you, Ken. Hey, Ken, let me know if you were here this past week. Because you just like me, you Mr. Cali himself. Shout out to you with the $10 love. Let me know how things are going. Are you back home in the States, or were you here in Cali when everything happened with the earthquake? Let me know how things are going. Shout out to Kenny. And shout out to 313 being numero uno tonight. Glad to see you being here, brother. Them Detroit boys, you know how we do. He say, Dre, I have popcorn and soda pop. Yes, sir. He say, ready for today's show. Happy Vibe Wednesday to all. Yes, sir. Love crossing borders.
You better back the fuck up out my face, goddammit. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Don't play with me.
Shout out to all us Detroit brothers and all you guys from the Midwest, all you Ohio players, all you Illinois guys, all you guys all the way down to Kansas. Shout out to all you guys. Missouri, all the way over. Kenny says this. He said, "Good evening, Dre." He said, "I like the AI of you on the airplane." He said, "Like you're going to Panama." That actually wasn't me. I just asked AI just to create that, but it kind of looked like my type of bald head and beard type of look. But yeah, I've been using AI lately on the thumbnails. Shout out to Mariah Sincere, the content creator over there in DR. And she was the one that turned me on to, hey, Andre, why don't you just use ChatGPT for your thumbnails? And so, as you guys have been noticed, like over the last few months, the thumbnails have been more AI than anything. So yes, sir. And shout out to Kenny Peoples in the building. He say, what little that man needs of each other. What little that men need from each other. Is that a question or a statement? Because you wrote it as a statement. What little that men need from each other. And shout out to Kenneth being in the building. Glad to see that you're here, brother. Let me turn this down just a little bit. He said, what up, chat family? He said, hope all is well in Cali. Is not all well in Cali. We are trying to get there. It's going to take us a couple years before before we get all is well. But Keith, I'm glad I say Ken, but Keith, I'm glad that that brothers like you who have come down here several times will still be here enjoying Cali. He said, Unc, I'll see you in October. Replay crew signing off. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to the replay crew and all you truck drivers out there. He said, all the old heads, I'm listening. He said, I'm still not 40 yet. All love. Yes, sir. That's what this episode is about. It's about us men sharing information with men. That's what this episode is all about. You're going to hear some things as a younger person under 40 that you're glad you heard. Shout out to my Uncle Jeffrey, Czar Ghostface in the building. Glad to see that you're here. Them Detroit boys once again.
You better back the fuck up out my face, goddammit. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Don't play with me.
What up, though? What up, though, Jeff? And what up, though, Detroit? And what up, chat family? Glad to see that you guys are here. And Kenny said, good evening, family. He said, my thoughts and prayers to family in Colombia. Yes, sir. No, I know you lived here for a few years, Kenny, so I hope everything is going great back home with you in Ohio. Shout out to my brother Isaiah, also being in the building. He said, appreciate the OGs giving advice to us young guys. Much needed information. Great work. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I kid you not. Yes, sir. And let's scroll down a little further because we got my brother Geechee Man in the building. Salute to you, kind sir. Glad to see that you're here. As well as I got to hit them Canadian boys for this one.
I told this guy where I was from. He said, oh, Canada.
Shout out to my brother Top Gun in the building. Straight Canuck right about now. Canuck. Yes, sir. Glad that you're here. As well as my brother Stanley Douglas, Senior, that is. Yo, shout out to you being here, brother. Glad to see that you're here. Really am. Almost retired. Countdown is in the building. He said, what up, what up? He said, just sent the link to my sons. Let the church commence. Yes, this is going to be great information. Great information that you're going to hear. We're going to go to the video right out the gate. I will not be rambling in the beginning. I'll be talking throughout the show, but the information that's shared is worth its weight in gold, especially when it comes to regret. I'll start off talking about that for a second, and then we're going to go directly into the videos. Shout out to my brother Hugh Steffens in the building. Glad to see that you're here, brother. He said, I'm not young at 50. He said, I'm not young at 54. He said, but I'm excited for this live stream because they provide and they are a great resources. Salute to you as well. Salute to you as well, Hugh. And he says his wife and the chat. Good. Oh, God is amazing. Yes, sir. Amen. God is amazing and always keeps us safe. Amen. The angels are surrounding us. Absolutely correct. We got another Ohio player in the house. Man, Ohio was always represented. Shout out to the Midwest. And shout out to them LA boys such as T-Mac by way of Medellin. Glad to see you here. He said, just got my third visa today. Uh-oh. He said, now I will apply for my permanent residency in September. Oh, man, I am not mad at you, bro. I ain't gonna lie, it feels good to have your permanent residence. And T-Mac, I don't know how it is in Antioquia. And Antioquia is the state in which Medellin is in, the province. But here in Bayo, which is the state in which Cali is in, I think even you as a permanent resident have the ability to vote on, as a permanent resident, we're able to vote on state issues and city issues. So we're able to vote for a governor in Colombia, a mayor of your city, city council members, and any agendas that have to do with the state. But until we get our official citizenship, we can't vote on federal issues like for a president, things like that for Congress. So we can't do that. But when it comes to the state, we can actually vote. So I'll take that for now. And the mayorship, if you will, is up next year. So it's going to be a lot of us voting next year for new mayors. He said, yep, I will be R visa. And you go from having the M on your ID, which is migrant or just regular visa. And then you have an R on your ID, which is resident. Absolutely correct. Shout out to my brother Rolling Travelers once again in the building, always showing some love and showing some love to T-Mac. Yes, sir. Shout out to you. And my brother Fit Travelers, always representing. Salute to you, brother. Glad to see that you're here. Glad to see that you're here. And Jermon's representing as well. He said, what up, big brother and chat family? Having a great night. We got 31 people in the building. Make sure you click the like button, gentlemen. If you don't mind, we like you. Make sure that you like us too by clicking that like button. Let me scroll down a little further. Because all you guys, I love the fact that you guys are giving shout outs to each other. He said, great day. Finally got our found. What? Congratulations, T-Mac. Congratulations. Finally got our foundation bank account approved. Took 3 orders, and more paperwork than college entrance. Wow, I can imagine. Yep, you can vote on local. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know. Once you get your resident, you do not have to be a citizen in Colombia to vote for your local. So yes, you can vote for your mayor, you can vote for your governor, you can vote for city council, you can vote for particular local bills in your city and policies in the city. Yeah, proposals. Yes, you can do that once you have your Colombian residency. So T-Mac can vote for things in his state, as well as Will and all you other guys that'll be getting your residency. And I can vote for things in my state. So shout out to you guys. He said they made the visa process longer, more difficult, and more expensive. Took forever this time. You know what? I think that's because of what was going on with Trump and Petro. Now that we got a new president, I think it's going to go back to being a smoother transition. He said, I'm going to keep all the ninjas out of Colombia's. Gringo Go. Yeah, you're going to see me with my Gringo Go Home t-shirts and all that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to E-Man Perry in the building. Glad to see that you're here, brother. Yeah, y'all gonna see me on here with a Gringo Go Home t-shirt. That's funny. Shout out to my brother also, Don, aka the Don JP in the building. Glad to see that you're here. Good evening to everyone, man. And appreciate you gentlemen being here. Let me get ready to change the music over right about now. That was a good one, T-Mac. Gringos go home. Let's change the music over, guys, because this is a great topic we got tonight, man. I'm very excited about this one because it's just men speaking to men. This is not a topic about the ladies or talking about what the ladies are doing. I'm just trying to get our minds ready for the Black Manosphere Conclave. Whether you're going to be there in person or whether you're going to go ahead and buy a ticket and you're going to be there watching us online. Either way, I kid you not, it's going to be a very amazing show. And we're going to have a good time tonight as well as at the conclave. And so I want to lay a foundation. Just, I'm coming back in the groove. I didn't want to talk about the ladies, just coming back. I want to talk about stuff that has to do with us males. No matter what race, color, creed, height, economic structure, country. I just want to talk from males to males. Because there is so much information that's readily available for younger men to glean off of us older men. And there are a lot of women that's trying to block that. You shouldn't be listening to those older men. You shouldn't hear what those older men have to say. And that's not true. There was a time when we appreciated our elders, male and female. We appreciated when the older cats that used to be out there in them streets and they had a bit of advice for us. We even appreciated the pimp. Remember back in the day when you appreciated your neighborhood pimp? Because he always gave you some advice and he gave you some money for the ice cream truck. There was always a positive male in our community, whether it was the football coach, the basketball coach, shout out to guys like Kings and Dreams. Whether you had a male school teacher or whether you were a part of the Boy Scouts back in the day, whether you were part of Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Boys and Girls Club, whether you were part of the 4-H Club or whether you were part of 100 Black Men, doesn't matter. There was always a male, older example for us to glean off of. Hopefully that begins to come back. And fortunately, for those of us that travel, we do like to hear from one another and what we have to say. And this episode is going to be dedicated to things that men need to say to younger men. And it's not an attack on younger men. It's just some basic advice that we wish we had when we were younger. I wish I had when I was under 40. Advice I wish I had when I was under 40. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight on the video. I kid you not. Yeah, this is like a drinking hand episode, right? But fortunately, you guys are here and you get a chance to glean off of some of the things that we're going to be talking about tonight. Jamon says this. He said sometimes the drunk handing out. Sometimes the drunk handing out. You're absolutely correct. Back in the day, the drunk hanging out at the local liquor store in the parking lot would drop some real gems on you. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That drunk that was always drinking in front of the liquor store, or he was at the grocery store trying to make a few dollars pushing carts for the ladies. He always had some knowledge to share with you. Yes, he did. Shout out to our brother Timothy Bright. Avengers Assemble. He said, when foreigners like you, Richie, and other expats give donations, good advice. He said, good advice. I'm sure those countries respect you, Dr. Pepper. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to my brother Timothy. And I'm going to put together the montage of the videos of the donations and all the things that are taking place in Cali and the donations that we have given so far that have gone out to Choco. So I'm going to do a montage in regards to that for tomorrow's show. Shout out to you guys. Let's get started with the video. Let me turn this down, and the brother's going to start off with 7 destructive habits that men must cut in order to succeed. 7 destructive habits that men must cut in order to succeed. I told you this is a pen in hand type of episode. So let's get started.
Here are 7 destructive habits men must cut to succeed. Number 1, the habit of chasing women. Not all women, just the habit of chasing. Number 2.
Before he even goes to number 2, he ain't lying. If I had one bit of advice that I could talk about year round, other than economics, it would be warning younger men under 40 about chasing women. You have never heard us dudes over 40 on our deathbed talk about how much coochie we got. If anything, one of the biggest regrets, and I can easily say this I'll be 59 in a couple of months, right? I can easily say this, and don't nobody else need to say it in the comments, but I'll say it for us. One of the biggest regrets I ever had, it has to rank in my top 3 regrets of all time, if not in the top 2. No, I'm lying. It's number 1. This is my number 1 regret of all time, time. All the women I wasted time chasing to get that coochie. The money that I wasted. The time that I wasted. The things I could have accomplished. Yeah, having sex is great, but the way that I was chasing, that was too much. The way that a lot of us we're chasing and we're looking back down memory lane, a lot of us older dudes can tell you, bruh, you young dudes that think that is cool to chase coochie, you gonna be just like the rest of us, sitting on the front porch thinking to yourself like, A, I can't remember half their names. B, I don't even remember half the chicks I smashed. C, I didn't even want them other than the smashing. That's how irrelevant those women were in my life. Other than the smashing, I didn't want to have most of them, if at least 80% of them, I didn't want to have anything else to do. I didn't want a conversation. I didn't want to hang around them. I didn't think they were funny. I didn't think they were smart. I just thought that they were sexy enough to smash. That was it. I regret that. I regret wasting my time on beautiful, and you know me, I'm not talking about hood chicks. I'm talking about professional women. See, here's the part with your boy Andre and a lot of you guys in the comments. A lot of us were wasted our time smashing the professional girl that was in college, the professional nerdy chick that was in church, ran through them. The girl that got the good grades in school, she was a nerd, but she was a freak outside. Them chicks. The chick that's at the job, those chicks. Man, I burned so much time on women that was deemed by society as quality, but in a bedroom, they wanted anal. You see where I'm going with that? And once again, I could easily say, and I mean easily say, 70 to 80% of the women that I slept with, I don't even remember the sexual experience. To be in that top 20, you had to bring a game, your ball game. Number two, I really can't tell you 80% of their names. I remember women now, I kid you, true story. I remember them in flashes. Like if I'm doing something and it kind of like clicks, like I said, I got these Altoids. I did smash a chick on a Wednesday night when she said, Dre, go pick up some condoms and some Altoids and some liquor and a couple bottles of wine. I did smash a chick over some Altoids. That's the only way I remember him. I didn't say that the sex was bad with the ladies. They just weren't memorable. I'll say this again. They weren't memorable. All you dudes, and I mean this, I'm saying this something sincere. All you dudes that come to Colombia, that come to Thailand, that go to Russia, that go to Panama, and you not running through chicks, don't you dare feel like you doing something wrong. Bruh, one of the things I'm glad I didn't do was run through foreign chicks the way I was running through American chicks, because I would have never met my wife. If I was burning time with foreign women, like a lot of guys do, if I was burning time with foreign women the way that I burn years in like I said, time, money, energy, and giving attention to American women, and I came out and I did that with foreign women, you talking about making the same mistake twice in life. So to all you dudes that try to sell younger men that's under 40 on the idea that they need to run up in every chick, I'm here to tell you, bruh, it ain't worth it. I will tell any man, I've had discussions with men on channels. I will tell any man to his face and on a panel and in any channel that tries to sell you the idea that running through chicks is a win. And I don't mean just having sex here and having sex there. I didn't say cut your sex life off. I'm talking about when you get off into a couple hundred and then you get off into the couple thousands. I'm telling you, bruh, it ain't worth it. Don't be trying to keep up with them clowns. Let them burn their time. Some of the most proudest dudes that I've met, and I mean this, and I've said this a few times on the show, some of the most proudest men that I've met that travel are never thirsty for women. Not one time in Colombia has any dude got drugged and robbed who was not thirsty for the women. All you dudes that's laid back like my Uncle Jeffrey, like my brother 0 milligram here, like T-Mac, all you guys that are selective with the type of women that you let in your life. You don't just let any old woman walk into your life, because my brother Will, Jay Clyde, All of us dudes that took our time, tailor-made dreams. All of us dudes that took our time and we didn't just let every chick come in. Now, we did have ladies that we mess with, yes, but you know what I'm saying. You know the difference between a dude that's enjoying himself on vacation and then it's a dude that's thirsty. I gotta smash. I'm here for 30 days. I gotta smash 50. You would never, if I had a chance to go back in time and change my numbers, brother, I'll easily say 90% of them I would have never wasted time with. I'd have been inventing something, creating something. Those years I was spending money on chicks to get to the hotel room, the money I just on the condom spending alone, man, I would have been traveling a lot earlier, bruh. You know when my travel began? To be honest, my travel began when I took my eyes off of women only. When I gave women a compartment in my life and not a pedestal in my life, all of a sudden I discovered travel. All of a sudden I discovered I wanted to go to these countries for the country. See, when I came to Colombia, I had put women in a compartment. So when I came, I wasn't like you dudes. I didn't come down here like, oh man, look at the lady. I got to go to Colombia. I got to go to Diop. Dude, I've had enough sex in my life, and a lot of you dudes have too, to where you ain't got to move thirsty no more. And I be looking at the other dudes that be moving thirsty, and I just keep my mouth shut. Go ahead. You know, y'all be like, I just got 3 midgets pregnant last night. I got 3 midgets pregnant. Go ahead, have fun. It ain't nothing y'all doing in all these countries that make me feel jealous, insecure. I don't miss y'all. I've been where y'all are, man. I kid you not. I was in the swinger world. I was out there boy toying. Might as well say I was gigoloing because the females are flying me out and buying me stuff. I've ran through coworkers. I've ran through coworkers and then they find daughters. I've ran through my sister friends. I ran through churches after churches after churches after churches. I'm telling y'all, bruh, my numbers are up there, and I'm telling you, it's not worth it. So all you brothers that are taking your time with what type of women gonna be in your life when you travel, hats off to you. Keep taking your time. Let the thirsty dudes be thirsty. Now, am I saying that I'm being anti-pay for play or don't go to a brothel? No, I'm saying every man's got needs, but I'm saying don't lean on it like us old heads did. Don't make the mistake that we made, bruh. Please don't make the mistake that we made when it came to going overboard with the thirst. We went overboard with the thirst. Generation X, boomers, you know, we Generation X, we created a Freaknik. We was the ones that put strip clubs on the map. We was the ones that introduced Black people to swinger events. Come on, Generation X, let's be real. We was out there in the 70s, 80s, and 90s acting a dang fool with it. And so I'm here to tell you dudes, on the back end of it, bruh, it was not worth it. The time that we wasted, the money that we wasted, the headaches that we dealt with. I let her stay around long enough for me to get the coochie, but I couldn't even stand that chick. And then I got this other chick that I'm trying to holler at. I can't stand neither one of these chicks. Actually, I got 4 of them like that. I can't stand them, but they so fine. So I'm going to be patient. Let them keep talking crazy to me just so I can get the coochie. Half of them talk about they want to put me in the friend zone, but they go get this. By the time they put me in the friend zone, another group of women that I really don't want to be bothered with, that I know I'm going to ghost, or I know I got 10 of them I'm going to ghost that's in my phone. So, but I'm going to run through them. I'm going to pretend like I like them. And so I'm gonna go still. I'm talking about you got a whole dance that you got to do, the whole headache you got to deal with. If you get caught by one, or if you just having fun with one, and then all of a sudden she fall in love, now you got to deal with her and the headache. Now you got to get restraining orders. When y'all said that y'all was just gonna be y'all gonna be F buddies or friends with benefits, but all of a sudden she started getting off to her emotions, and now she's like she really like you. Got to go through, bruh. I'm telling y'all one thing. If I ain't a professional at nothing, and I have smashed across the country. I've smashed in LA, I done smashed in San Francisco, I've smashed in Oakland, I've smashed in AZ, I've smashed in Oklahoma, I've smashed in Texas, I've smashed in Atlanta, many a moon. I've smashed all throughout Florida, all throughout the Carolinas. Shout out to B. Moore and DC. Ran through both of them. I've ran through all Ohio, please. Illinois, please. Wisconsin, stop it. I'm telling you, I'm all up in PA. I ain't got no business being up in PA. I'm crossing the border. How y'all think I know how to drive from Detroit? Hit 401 through Canada. 3 hours later, you in Toronto. Because I'm running through this baddie bus driver with the hazel eyes in Toronto. So when I tell you, I ain't no dude that's just talking to be talking, and I'm not bragging. I'm far from bragging. I'm giving you some advice. The first bit of advice that this brother, that chasing women, all you dudes that don't chase women, but you get women. There's a difference. There's a difference when you come to Colombia and you can get Colombian women compared to the dudes that's chasing Colombian women. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. You at the clock tower. That's chasing Colombian women. It's 3:15 in the evening, and you out there in Parque, 3:15 in the morning. You out there in Parque Years. That's chasing Colombian women. Getting to know Colombian women, that's different. Whether you taking a salsa class and she introduced you to a couple of her friends. Whether you go out to a club and you meet a nice couple of young ladies. Whether you go out to this spot or that spot, or you go to the grocery store, or whether you're just somewhere where ladies just gravitate to you in one way or another, that's different from thirsty dudes. That's completely different. And you're going to meet a whole different caliber of Colombianas when you taking your time compared to being thirsty. I'm telling y'all, bruh, I'm giving y'all my number one game of all time. My number one game of all time. Chasing females, it ain't worth it, bruh. It is the way that we was doing it. The way that we did it as baby boomers and Gen X, bruh, don't be like us, bruh. You ain't gonna have nothing but a bunch of babies and a bunch of maybes. Messing around trying to imitate what your uncle and your granddaddy and your daddy and them and what your pastor and what the deacons was doing. See, our deacons could do that. You don't want to be like your deacon. Our pastor could do that. You don't want to be like your pastor. See, it was cool. Pastor smashing chicks. We smashing chicks. Deacon smashing chicks. Hey, we smashing chicks. So everybody smashing somebody in the church. But y'all don't want to be like us, bro. I'm telling you. He ain't never lied on that one. Let me come to the comments. He ain't never lied on. I swear, bro. Don't burn your time chasing the chicks, worrying about the chicks. Just like you were able to get chicks in the States with ease, you'll be able to get chicks out of the States with ease. Just be you. Just be you. Let me scroll back up. And Hugh says this. He said, acting thirsty equates insecurity. He said, it took me a while to figure it out. He said, but I'm much happier than that I've grown. It's a process. Yes, it is. It's not now. We're not judging younger men that you got your energy. You just out there. You just doing your thing. We're not judging you. But what we are is giving you the advice. You can't say, did nobody tell you? You can't say, did nobody tell you? When you hit like 45, it's gonna start kicking in where you like, man, okay, give me 3 good ones. And you good. Give me 3 good ones and I'm good. By the time you hit 50, you might be like, give me 1 or 2 good ones and I'm good. Why? Why at 50 you ain't trying to run through them like that? For most of us. Been there, done that. And we realize that you burning time. You ain't doing them but burning time chasing chicks. We can afford to burn time, so we think, at 25, right? 25 to 30, you can afford it. You cannot afford time the way that a 25-year-old and you 50 to 55, you can't afford to burn time smashing 300 chicks like you could in that 5-year window, or 50 chicks or 20 chicks in that 5-year window like a 25-year-old. Because you know that eventually when you want to settle down, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Unless you take care of your health and your economics, don't nobody want older men anyway. Okay, let's be real with it. We always talk about women hit the wall. You want to see how men hit the wall? Men first hit the wall when we're younger, meaning that we got a lot of things we need to do. We keep hitting that wall, keep hitting that wall, keep hitting that wall, and we break through with our success. So men don't have our value when we're younger, but we keep breaking through, and break through that wall, and now we have our value. But there's another time when men hit the wall that we don't want to admit. If you do not take care of your health, your hygiene, your mind, your spirituality, your sleep, your habits, I'm gonna tell y'all right out the gate, don't no young chick want you. You got to buy the coochie. Some of y'all, can we be real? Oh, let's turn this music off. Okay, y'all think Dre ain't back, huh? Okay, here we go. Let's turn this music off for a second. Who do y'all think y'all are? What's my motto? Just because you old enough to be called her daddy, for her to call you daddy, that don't mean you need to be built like her daddy. Some of y'all older dudes, you gotta buy coochie because you built like Bugs Bunny, chest cave in and all good. Some of y'all gotta pay for some coochie because you all are 315, 425. You gotta buy some coochie. Let's be real with it. Some of y'all so thirsty with it, you gotta buy coochie. You don't know how to be patient. And you 52, 53. So I'm not even talking to you dudes tonight, because after this live stream, you're going to still be thirsty. Why? Because you didn't take care of your hygiene. Check. In other words, you don't smell good. You come to Colombia 15 times. You never got your teeth cleaned. You never got veneers or braces to take care of your teeth. You don't brush your tongue. You don't floss. Because your teeth has that smell that keeps coming out and you wonder what the heck that is. And all it is just the hamburger from last night that's still kind of like stuck in your tooth. But if you would have flossed, that smell would have been gone. You don't iron your clothes. T-shirts don't get ironed. Polo shirts don't get ironed. Your button down don't get ironed. You don't iron your slacks. The only thing that's clean about you is your shoes and your watch. And you expect these young Colombianas to go crazy over your butt because you decide that you don't want to go to the gym. The only dudes that I see winning that are older men that don't have to spend like that are the dudes that take care of their hygiene, their health. And yes, economics, of course, but we don't need to talk about that because that's a given. But dudes that take care of your hygiene and if you want to do anything in 2027 that will cause you to have to spend less money in foreign countries, go ahead as an older man with gray hair, start taking care of your health and see how many women you get. Start taking care of your hygiene. And watch how them women in the Philippines and Vietnam treat you compared to the year before. Those are the two areas I dare any older man take care of, because we're older. So we got to go that extra mile. I'm sorry. You want the young, sexy 33-year-old? But like I said, just because you want her to call you daddy, that don't mean you need to be built like her daddy. Some of y'all look like, the reason why they sit back and say like, oh, that's your daughter, because you look like her father. You built like a dude that's supposed to be a father. Nobody has ever looked at me and Andrea like I am her father. You know why? Because I try to keep my butt in somebody's gym. And then when I put on a little extra weight, like right now, I'll be like, let me go ahead and grab my kettlebells. Let me get in the gym. Let me do what I need to do. Let me keep my teeth hygiene clean. Let me make sure my skin is clean. If I'm gonna wear a beard, let me make sure that I keep it groomed. When you're an older man, you gotta go the extra mile if you want to be with these beautiful younger women. Or do like y'all normally do. Reach into your wallet, come out that money. And come out that money. But don't think your win is my win. A win ain't a win. Because now you dealing with thirsty chicks you can't trust, chicks that might be heisting you or scamming you, chicks that might drug you. All because, check it out, all because as an older man, you wouldn't take care of your hygiene and you wouldn't take care of your health. You invite a certain type of woman into your life in all these countries just because you don't take care of your hygiene and your health. Nothing more, nothing less. Before you go in your pocket and reach for a dollar bill, that woman can see who you are by how you take care of your hygiene and your health. You can have $1 in your pocket, or you can have $1,000 in your pocket when you land. That woman doesn't know that you have that. But one thing she does know, when she looks at you, does that man take care of his health as an older man? And does he take care of his hygiene as an older man? If you don't do neither one of those, I'm not surprised that you got to pay for play. I am far from surprised. I recommend you pay for play, because you're too lazy. Women are saying he's lazy. If he doesn't care for himself, he won't care for me. So why should I care about him? If he won't take care of him, then I'm going to use him. Let's get this money, girls. So when I'm saying this, younger dudes, stay in somebody's gym. Stay in somebody's dentist's office. Don't be landing in a country and you know that the dentistry is inexpensive and you've been there 5 times and you ain't had your butt to the dentist's office and off. Get your mouth taken care of. We are learning, black men especially, you are learning to smile for the first time. We ain't known for smiling in the States unless somebody crack a joke. Black men ain't known for smiling on no photos in the United States. You are now outside the States. Get your mouth together, because every photo we are smiling, we are laughing, we are having fun in these other countries. And the last thing somebody want to see is that brown and yellow tooth that you could have been took care of. You got a gold tooth right here, but you got that brown, that dark brown tooth. I don't know how tooth get dark brown, but you got one. You got a dark brown tooth here. You got 3 yellow ones coming in the back. And everybody see it when you outside the United States, because black men laugh and we smile outside the United States. And now everybody see your teeth. So unless you're an older dude taking care of your hygiene and your health, yeah, you go ahead and pay for play. I mean that one. Young dudes, hear me out. The ladies will come to you if you take care of your health, like going to the gym, going for a walk, making sure your diet is good. I know you like to do your little drink and smoke a cigar here and there, but take care of your health and take care of I don't care about how much gold you got. I don't care about the dangling chain. Dude, it doesn't mean nothing if your breath stink, bruh. Young dudes, if your breath is funky and the woman can smell just you walking up on her as a young dude, she can smell shit stains in your underwear and she's standing in front of you. It doesn't matter how nice your Jordans are, your LeBrons are. You young dudes got it twisted too. If your grooming ain't up to par, it doesn't matter how much Louis Vuitton designs you got on there if it's wrinkled. Foreign women look and see, oh, that's nice Louis he got on, but it's wrinkled. They are looking more at the wrinkles than they're looking at the designer of the Gucci that you have on there. So he can afford Gucci, but he can't afford a steamer or an iron? Is that what he's saying? Some of y'all young dudes, yeah, can I say something for real? Some of us older dudes get the coochie because y'all young dudes don't take care of your hygiene. I got that coochie not because I was the coolest dude. You know how some dudes get the coochie? Because some of you young dudes don't take care of your hygiene or your health either. So you young and you fat as hell. And your breath stinking. And you got that smell coming from behind your ear because you never washed behind your ear. You never put a Q-tip up in the crease of your ear. So all that ear funk is coming out. I'm here to tell y'all, brothers, in all sincerity, stop chasing women. Take care of your health and hygiene. You won't hit that wall forever. You could be 71, bruh. And if you taking care of your health and you taking care of your hygiene, women around the world will still want you. Some of y'all think it's about the money. The women don't see the money first. The women see your health first and they see your hygiene first. Long before they see your wallet. Long before you say, baby, I got this. Okay, I'm going to end it with this. Y'all do realize some of y'all big boys get overcharged and y'all don't get free pay for play. There are dudes that I personally know that have said, Dre, the first time I was with that chick in Medellin, I paid. But I ain't had to pay ever since. I've had plenty of stories I've heard like that. You know who I ain't never heard that say that story? You fat boys. You bad hygiene dudes. You dudes that don't know how to iron the clothes. You dudes that only got clean shoes and a clean watch and a gold chain on. I ain't never heard y'all talk about some. I had this. She didn't have me pay no more. Y'all always gotta pay. You think she gonna let your big butt get on top of her all? Now, this is not an attack on men. What I'm saying is I'm giving some advice to the younger dudes for some of the mistakes that us older dudes have made. If I was younger, the advice that I would give you or would give to myself, get your tail in somebody's gym and get your tail into somebody's dentist chair. Get in a dentist chair as soon as possible, Andre, and get yourself a gym membership in as many countries as you land in. That would be the biggest advice that I would give myself, because it would pay off not only while I'm young, but it would pay off over time once the grades start kicking in and women say ain't nothing sexier on a man is when a man is older and he has been taking care of his hygiene and his health. Y'all look good when y'all young, but that's expected. Y'all got the abs when you young. That's expected. But when it's a dude that's over 50 and he been taking care of his health, and he been taking care of his hygiene, boy, them women love you. They love you, man. Let me bring that beat back now. Like I said, this wasn't an attack, but it's just a word of encouragement for you young dudes. Absolutely correct. Zay, the takes checks, not the females. We should call this the Files Dre the Ripper. I know, right? Like the Rockford Files to all you old heads. He said, if you're going to be a player, build wealth first, like Derek Jeter. Absolutely correct. You see what I'm saying? And Derek's still looking good for his age. You see how Derek takes care of himself? Derek didn't just lean on the money and say, oh, well. Zeta says exactly. We're young once. So we understand, but at older ages, we should understand and evolve to be more focused. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Most men start building their wealth in their 50s. That's very common too. T-Mac says that women seem to be more attracted to confident men, absolutely correct, who don't care whether they hook up or not. That is so true. Personally, I'm glad my baby mama comes over, cleans up my spot, and leaves at by 8 p.m. Like my alone time. And a lot of us are like that, man. Shout out to Smooth Life in the building. Giving shout out. Enchalupe representing. He said food decompressing in between your teeth, decomposing between your teeth. Dude, don't, man, if y'all don't get them start flossing. Yes, sir. Tell him be presentable. Be presentable. And shout out to Black Nubian in the building. The Canadian brother.
I told this guy where I was from. He said, oh, Canada.
He said, this is the realest live stream. Let's hit that like button. Shout out to you all guys, all you guys that are here, all 58 of our brothers in here. You say facts, the more presentable, the more options. And that's just, I love how you worded that, because that's exactly what it's about. The more presentable you are, and I kid you not, man, being more presentable as an older man, dude, women love older, presentable dudes. I'm not talking about you walking around with a suit on. I'm talking about at least your t-shirt is presentable. At least your cologne game is up. You see what I'm saying? Tonight I'm wearing one of my my anime t-shirts, right? But you notice I'm wearing it kind of like indoors. I might wear it it's brand new. I've had it for months. But I've only worn it twice, right? My Dragon Slayer t-shirt. Tasty, right? When you're older, start to have more t-shirts in your collection with no logos on them, or very little logo. No graphic tees as much as you used to when you were under 40. Under 40 guys can get away with that. Over 40 guys, you should at least, I kid you not, you should have 50-50 at least when it comes to your t-shirts. What do I mean by that? If I'm over 40, half of my t-shirts have no graphics on it. No matter what color it is, if it's a red t-shirt, a blue, a black, doesn't matter. No graphics on it. The other half is got, I got one from Cuba and I got some from Panama. So those are graphic tees. So you can still enjoy your graphic tee life, but as an adult man, you should start to get more and more and more less graphic tees. Women are attracted to older men with just plain color tees in most countries. Women in Europe are not mainly attracted to, they can tell you American, just from the fact that you wear a graphic tee. Not the fact that you're wearing a t-shirt and it's iron. The fact that you're wearing a graphic tee as an older man makes you look like, oh, he American. Let's get them, girl. So your collection should have 50%. Yeah, still have fun with your favorite sports teams, and like I said, my anime. Cool. But you should, as an older man, over 40, also have just regular blank t-shirts of all different colors. Because you can rock that with jeans. Some of them, depending on the material, you can rock it with khakis, looking good with a nice white tee, or a nice red, or a nice burgundy, or a nice ivy colored tee with some khakis. Why? Because it has no graphics on there. And so you can get away with it. Now, some of you younger guys can do that too, but I'm just talking to us older men. What makes us older men look more attractive when it comes to our wardrobe is less is more for older men. I want to say this again. Like this watch, this Invicta watch, it's cool for t-shirts. But this watch right here is more respectable for everyday going out as a man over 40. This is cool for having fun. I'm going to the soccer game with Andrea. I'm going to go have some fun. I'm going to hang out with you guys and have some cigars. This is cool for that, right? This is not cool for when, as a man over 40, and I'm going out every day. Now, some of you guys, this is cool for vacation mode, but I'm not on vacation mode. When you're living in another country, stuff like this is more presentable. Some of us older dudes have to realize your wardrobe does not need to look like your grandson's. Your grandson's has the latest Jordans, and you got the latest Jordans. Your grandson got all the graphic tees, and you got all graphic tees. Your grandson doesn't know how to iron his clothes, and you don't know how to iron your clothes. Your grandson doesn't floss, and you don't floss. You should always be an example to your grandson, granddad. So I didn't want to harp on this. I'm going to let the video roll. But the first one I want to talk about was, he was absolutely correct. Don't give your energy over to women like that, guys. I kid you not. The biggest regret, my number one of all time, and I've talked to other men about this. I've seen older men on their deathbed talking about this. I've seen surveys of the biggest regrets of men, and the number one that's always on the list. Men are always saying this at the end of the day, and I'm not talking about no 70-year-old men. I'm not in my 70s. I've been saying this since I was in my early 50s. The biggest thing I wasted time on was chasing coochie. And here's the other part. Letting coochie chase me. Sometimes it's wise to say no to some coochie. I ain't got time right now, baby. I'm putting together this. I'm working Theo's class. I'll see you next week, though. The old Andre would have either rushed through Theo's homework, or would have said, well, I get my homework done tomorrow for Theo. I'm about to head over to this baddie crib. I've been trying to smash this back. Sometimes it's wrong for you to waste your time chasing chicks, and sometimes it's the wrong time to let chicks chase you. When you're trying to get your money right, it's the wrong time to let chicks chase you. Sometimes you got to let women know I get to you when I get to you, because they ain't going nowhere. That coochie gonna steal. Coochie been here since the dawn of time. Coochie ain't going nowhere. One of the things I had to learn, not chasing chicks, but the other part I had to learn was not to let chicks chase me at the wrong time in my life. When I'm trying to accomplish things, when I'm focused on something else. I catch you when I catch you. I see you when I see you. If I don't get that coochie, oh well. I learned to say, oh well, to coochie, bruh. I'm for real. I had to learn in my 40s to say, oh well, to pretty coochie.
And believe you me, it's never easy when I was doing it. I'm talking about some of the finest chicks that I wanted to smash. Finally was ready to spread their legs open for me, but I ain't had no time for it because I'm trying to do this over here. So I can stop my project, stop my goal, get this coochie, and now I'm throwing myself off for 2 or 3 days. Now I'm rushing to get back on track. So it took me in my 40s to learn, Dre, ain't nothing wrong with saying it is what it is. It's okay, Dre. You didn't get it. I still have stories in my mind like, man, I remember that time I turned that one down. Whew, wish I would have hit it. But I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. There, I got plenty. Dude, I got as many stories of women that I did smash. I got quite a few stories of women that I didn't smash. And you still tell yourself, man, I wish I'd have smashed that one, but you glad you did. I'm glad I didn't allow that person to distract me. Because a woman will blow your phone up, bro, and distract you from everything that you're trying to do, man. A woman will blow your phone up and distract you from everything, dude. Say this, I've seen so many dudes my age prioritizing coochie that now they look at me like I'm a big dog, no kids, no baby mamas, no drama, no stress. Absolutely correct, T-Mac. I like how you worded that. He said, if you make yourself too available, it sends the message that your time is not valuable. I had to learn that in my 40s, T-Mac. I didn't have anybody around, older dudes around to tell me that my time was just as valuable as hers. I want to say that again. I did not have anybody around me to tell me my time is just as valuable as hers. Because I was so busy looking at that frame and looking at that face, looking at that smile, and thinking about how I'm going to give her all these wonderful orgasms that I didn't realize, just like she got 24 hours in a day, I only got 24 hours in a day. And here's the kicker. Check it out, T-Mac. When none of them chicks burning their goals for me. Okay, here we go. Y'all ready? Yeah, I know I always talk about smashing professional women, the nerd chicks, the smart chicks, the chicks with the degrees, right? None of them chicks stopped doing their homework to have sex with me. None of them chicks left their job that day. They didn't get off work early to have sex with me. None of them, come on, let's be real. None of them chicks sat back and lost a job so they could keep a relationship going with me. I've lost jobs letting chicks in my life at one point in time I shouldn't have been. I left job. Dude, I'm in the park. Bruh, I'm literally in my job's parking lot. I literally just pulled up. I only have 20 paces to go to get to my desk. True story. Ring, ring. What you doing, big head? Nothing. My kids in school. Get your butt over here, Dre. I literally called my boss, who could have been looking out the window. I don't know. I know, Andrea. Literally. Right? I got a flat tire. I don't know if that man or that woman at that time period, woman at that time period, could have been in the break room where we're supposed to punch in. I tell her I got a flat tire. I'm going to be late. I literally drive out the parking lot to go beat the coochie up all the live long day.
could have did it after work, couldn't I? Did I not just say women ain't gonna sacrifice for no sex for us? They ain't about to lose no job. They ain't about to lose no sleep. They ain't gonna have their kids late for school because you want to come over and have some sex. They ain't gonna have their kids late for school because you want to come over. What they gonna do? Tell you to come over when them kids go to sleep and have you out that house before them kids wake up. They don't sacrifice for sex the way we do. The number one sacrifice they make is getting pregnant. So if they can stay away from that one sacrifice, how many sacrifices have we made? Dude, I'm flying to California to beat up Cali Coochie. I'm flying to be more, to beat up Be More Coochie. Ain't nobody flying. Notice the women, I've had a couple spend their own money to get on a plane and flew themselves out for your boy. Most of them, I'm flying. My ticket, my money, because she a baddie. Now, were they worth the flight? Yeah, they were. I ain't gonna lie to you. They was freaky deaky. They was freaky deaky. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was worth the flight. But they wouldn't have went there. Women don't go the extra mile for sex like men do. That's what my point is. So if you think a woman is willing to do for you what you are willing to do for a woman, they ain't, bruh. They ain't. Not in the States, at least. Shout out to my brother Aries in the building. Mr. Ram himself. He said, a little something for the tip jar, bro. Good show. Glad you're enjoying yourself, gentlemen. Glad you're enjoying yourself. He said, I'm glad, Black Newbie said, I'm glad I passed on a few chicks. The universe saved me. Bruh. You talk about having some of those hair on my chinny chin chin moments. You like, man, I'm glad I didn't smash that chick, dog. I didn't know she was crazy like that. Kofi says this. Shout out to Kofi in the building. He said, a woman equals might even be your mama or your sister. I know, right? That is so true. They just say it's more women that I've told no and only let a limited amount of women around me. Man, bruh, if I had been that wise, man, Zeta says facts. He said that part that they didn't stop. They live to accommodate you. Their lives, they do not stop their lives to accommodate you. And that part, many young guys need to understand. Women do not put their life on hold for you the way that we put our lives on hold for them. Women don't do the crazy mess that we do that will disrupt the flow of their peace the way that we'll allow our peace to be disrupted in order to get a peace. Let it, bruh. I was so out of control with smashing chicks. I didn't care if it was a snowstorm. I have driven through snowstorms when the chick was 4 blocks away. Chick be telling me, come on over to the house. I'll be like, okay, cool. 4 blocks away. Through the snow. It's taking me 45 minutes to get to her spot. What did she say to me? And I've had this happen a couple times with a couple chicks in snowstorm. I'm on my way to the house. What? You were talking to me on the phone as if you was already at the house. So I'm parked in front of your house in a snowstorm, waiting for you to get there 40 minutes later to beat the coochie. I'm telling you, man, getting coochie is a headache, bruh, when you go overboard with it. When you go overboard, see, y'all know all the funny stories I tell y'all. Now I'm telling y'all some of the true stories that's the ones that was like, come on, Dre. I'm telling y'all some of the come on, Dre stories. Come on, Dre, you left your job. Come on, Dre, you was sitting in a snowstorm for chicks. Come on, Dre, you was flying to get the coochies? Come on, Dre. Yes. Yes. And guess what? I know I ain't the only one that ever sat in a snowstorm or parked your car in the rain or called in on a job because you had the chick laying right next to you. Some of you dudes don't even make it back to the airport in Colombia, so don't judge me. Some of you dudes should have left on Thursday. Your visa was over on Thursday. You still in Colombia next Thursday. You should have been gone, so don't judge me because I know what you do when you get here. You got to pay a fee before you leave Colombia. All them headaches in the name of some coochie. You do it in DR. You overstay your visa by 2 months in DR because the coochie's so good. So don't act like I'm the only one that's doing this. At least I'm admitting mine. He said, get yourself together and get to the gym. He said, that's where my time is spent. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. He said, like, they just said, like Cat Williams said about Diddy. You got to tell him no. I know, right? If I had known that before, man, the lessons that I learned. So what I'm telling you, young dudes, man, don't give your energy to the ladies. Don't burn your energy on the ladies, brothers. You will thank me for that one. Shout out to Zeta. Zeta says, that's why the Bible talks about women bring troublesome to our lives. I remember the Bible talking about the pleasure of the flesh. Absolutely correct. Me and Andre was just doing a Bible study the other day on Proverbs 31. You know how every woman talking about I'm Proverbs 31 woman. Well, most women don't want to talk about the fact that in the book of Proverbs 31, it was a woman giving advice to her son. The queen was giving advice to her son that was about to be king. In Proverbs 31, she's not talking about, remember this is the queen talking. She's not talking about one woman in Proverbs 31 that all the women like to brag in churches. I'm a Proverbs 31 woman. She talks about two women in Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31 verse 1 through 4, she talks about, just like my brother said, do not give your energy or your strength to troublesome women. She's talking to her son that's going to be a king. Don't give your energy to these problematic women that's going to be a headache. Yes, they are fine. Yes, they are sexy, but they will give you that thing like they gave it to Magic Johnson. Like I always say, it wasn't an ugly girl that gave the magic to Magic. You better believe it was somebody fine that gave Magic that magic back in the 90s. But then starting at verse 10, it starts talking about the virtuous woman and all the things that she does for her family. But the first woman that queen warns her son about in Proverbs 31 is the problematic, quarrelsome, troublesome woman. Don't give your strength, no matter how fine they are. If a woman is warning you about women in the Bible, they can't say that it's men making it up. My brother Zeta says, he said, absolutely. He said, I was just about to say that about that chapter. He said, verses, facts. He said, I have read that part over 3 times. Absolutely correct. Proverbs 31, verse 2 through 4. Warning her son, boy, I know you're going to be a king. You're going to have that money. You look good. All them sexy women going to be coming your way. I'm telling you, don't do it, son. Don't do it. Shout out to my brother Rico in the building. Glad to see that you're here. Let's go back to the video. Let Andre shut up. Let me bring the video back because we're right at the beginning. And I'm just going to shut up for quite a while. Let this guy rock and roll.
Here are 7 destructive habits men must cut to succeed. Number 1, the habit of chasing women. Not all women, just the habit of chasing. Number 2, procrastination. Number 3, negative thinking. Number 4, laziness. Number 5, bad habits and addictions. Number 6, excuses. Number 7, the need for instant gratification. Because the man that can delay pleasure will eventually have the things other men can only dream about.
Say that again. He said, don't use number 7, instant gratification. A man that can delay his gratification when he is traveling, especially, he wins in the end.
Stay focused, stay disciplined, stay purpose-driven. Most importantly, think about that.
Here's 88 years of advice in 60 seconds. Let me save you a few decades of learning the hard way. Choose your spouse and your business partners carefully. The wrong people can cost you much more than a wrong deal. Protect your health. Money can replace many things, but it can't buy back yesterday's body. Own something, a business, real estate, or equity in a business. A salary can make you comfortable, but ownership can make you free and can make you rich. Guard your reputation like your life depended upon, because it does. It takes a lifetime to build and one foolish decision to destroy it. When you fall, get back up. Never let one bad person or one failure or one difficult year defeat you. Be grateful while you're climbing. You meet the same people on the way down as you do on the way up. So do not postpone your happiness until you reach the top. Enjoy your life all the way through. And remember, total freedom is absolute discipline. I'm Peter Thomas, your 1-minute mentor, and there's 88 years of advice in 60 seconds. Use it wisely. Peter Thomas, your 1-minute mentor.
Normalize spending money on fitness, cologne, well-fitting clothes, knowledge, and healthy food.
I'll bring that back what he said. If you're going to spend money as a man, he said, we're not talking about investments. He's talking about just spending money. These are the things that you should spend money on when it comes to a man spending money on yourself.
On fitness?
Fitness should be one of the first things that you spend money on as a man for yourself. You should not have a Jordan collection if you do not have a collection of gyms. I'm going to say that again. You should not have a Jordan shoe collection if you do not have a collection of gym equipment and gym memberships. You should not have more Jordans than you got kettlebells and jump ropes. You should not have more Jordans than you got track shoes and tennis shoes to exercise. That is crazy that you got 35 pair of shoes and not one pair of your shoes is dedicated to your health. Not one pair are Skechers or anything that is fit for your health. That's crazy. That's crazy. So the first thing he said, invest in your fitness. Let's go back. Like I said, I'm not going to go on a rant on these. I'm going to let him rock and roll.
Cologne.
Come on, number 2. We already said that no matter where you go in the world, women want you to smell good. That's a given, gentlemen.
Well-fitting clothes.
Come on, guys. You know your size and you know what fits you well and what doesn't fit you well. You know what styles work well with you and what styles don't. I'm going to say something else. Some of you guys have styles that will work with you. You just never tried them on. Some of you guys wear t-shirts everywhere you go. You look good in a polo. You just never give it a try. Some of you guys, your wardrobe would just step up to another level just on polo shirts alone. Just on not a cheap polo, but just a quality polo shirt will take how women look at you to a whole nother level. It's as comfortable as a t-shirt, but it makes you look more mature because it's got that collar. But you never even tried it. You can get away with more with a polo shirt. You can wear polo with khakis, polo with shorts, polo with jeans. If it's cold enough, polo with corduroy. You can get away with it with a nice polo shirt. And don't let it be a nice polo golf shirt with the little designs on the inside of it. But you never tried it. You never saw yourself with the polo shirt that kind of like fit you just right here. I'm telling you. Shout out to the African Wolf in the building. So yeah, he's absolutely correct. Clothes that fit you well.
Knowledge
and healthy foods, absolutely correct. The number one thing that they say that multimillionaires and millionaires have in common, they read or they listen to audiobooks. They read or they listen to audiobooks. They're listening to motivation. They're listening to anything that has to do with their craft. You should be willing to pay for everything from consultation to mentor to courses, anything that you guys that invested in everything that you need to invest in with Theo, that's knowledge. You're paying for knowledge. I was talking to some of Theo's graduates that was walking down the street about a year ago. We were all walking down the street talking. There's about 4 of us, right? And they were saying, man, you guys don't even have to pay for your books. And they were the Atlanta graduates. Black Managed for Conclave 2, right? Man, you guys don't even have to pay for your books. We had to pay. There was no Udemy like it is for you guys. We had to pay $100, $200, $300 each for our books for Theo's classes. But they were willing to invest. Now these guys are making $250 a year. Like I said, these ain't dudes I heard about. These dudes I know. And I know several of his graduates that I've personally met in my own neighborhood. Investing in knowledge and healthy foods, he's 100% correct. Some guys need to start their healthy food journey just from drinking water. Some of you guys, I don't like water. Water likes you. You're 85% water. Get in the habit of drinking water. Got to get in the habit of drinking water, gentlemen. You just start off that as being one of your healthy foods, and then take it from there. I mean, I love making soup, so yes, sir. Yeah, always drink water all day long, man. Fasting, come on now. Yes, sir. Let your body detox for a couple days, or even fasting during the evening. But you got to let your body have its fast so you can go have a break fast, breakfast. Absolutely correct. Let's continue on.
Healthy food. Man to man, any money you spend on eating well, dressing well, smelling good, and improving your body and mind never goes to waste.
When you get in shape, fellas, you're going to deal with major haterism from other men. And that's why men go so hard to tell men to get out of shape. That's why men have the lowest fucking testosterone levels ever. That's why the average man is built like Homer Simpson.
Nope.
And you're going to see more Peter Griffin built dudes than fit dudes.
Nope.
Because you get fit and they, well, a bullet can't stop that. A gun, you can't stop a gun.
What?
Muscles don't stop bullets.
What?
It's ridiculous, man. It's crazy. And dudes would rather be in the comments bitching, saying stuff like that, than get on top of their game and get in shape.
My top 5 things that are absolutely worth the money, and one bonus item that is simple, but everyone should be doing. Number 1, a high quality gym. This is the new country club and a great way to network, and throw in pickleball, even better. Number 2 for me is bedding. I never ever skimp when buying mattresses and pillows because sleep is so important.
Bruh, if your television is the most expensive thing or the most valuable piece of furniture in your house, you are doing it backwards. I read this when I was in prison reading the Robb Report. And anybody that knows about the Robb Report, that is the magazine for the ultra rich. And I learned this by reading the Robb Report. Rich people consider the most important room in the house, especially the most important piece of furniture, is the bed. You should have, it doesn't mean that you have to have 1,000 thread Egyptian cotton, but that mattress, you need to put some money in that mattress, bro. That bed, that frame, you want a bed that don't move, that don't squeak, none of that. The reason why I knew it was an earthquake, because I saw our bed move. And I felt that, and our bed does not move. You can have 3 people jumping up and down on the other side of that California king, and a person can be on the other side sleeping comfortably and won't know that 3 people been jumping up and down. Because when I read that Robb Report, I kid you not, ever since I got out of prison, the most important piece of furniture in my house, bar none, is the bed. The bed. The library, that's important, of course. You know, us men, we like our big screen TVs. All that is important. But I kid you not, guys, he is not lying. That mattress and that bed, and of course, now we talk about the sheets and the pillows. All that, bruh, will make a major difference in your waking day. If I give you any advice on your house, it would be that bed. He is not lying. I learned that from following the mega rich, and they all say the same thing. That bed, that bed, that bed, that bed, that bed. And so when I got out of prison, one of the first things I invested in, and I've always invested in, and the first piece of property, true story, that I invested in Colombia was a quality bed. I didn't purchase any other furniture yet. I want to make sure I had the best of the best mattress and the best of the best bed. And then, okay, now we can talk about the couch and the washing machine and the stove and the refrigerator and all that other stuff. But I want to make sure that we got the best of the best of the best bed. He ain't lying. Rico said, my mattress costs more than my whole bedroom set. And I believe you. I believe you, bro. My brother Geechee said, he said, I just upgraded my bed set. He said, night and day difference. Pun intended. I'm with you on that one, bro. I'm with you. The things that you can do when you got you a good bed. Mr. Told You said this. Shout out to Mr. Told You in the building. He said, old folks always talked about the foundation. Good shoes, good mattress, good boy, let that man speak. Let him speak. Let him speak. So when you guys get a chance, if you got to save up your money to next year, you might have to skip one of your trips. Instead of doing 5 trips, you do 4 trips or 3 trips because you're about to buy yourself a brand new quality mattress. I'm telling you, you will thank me a million years, bro. A million years. Let me let the man continue to cook. Let me bring that back a little bit.
Number 1, a high quality gym. This is the new country club and a great way to network, and throw in pickleball, even better. Number 2 for me is bedding. I never ever skimp when buying mattresses and pillows because sleep is so important. Number 3 is high quality foods. I cart judge people all the time, and I'm always shocked at how people, even those that are making money, will buy the cheapest food items they can find, and I just never understand that. Your health should be priority number one. You're working hard and you need to keep your body in order. Number 4, TSA pre-check. I'm so shocked that such a high percentage of people will skimp out on this and have to live with the anxiety when they travel of not knowing how long the lines are going to be and how long they have to get there early to be able to make sure they get to their flight. TSA pre-check for the win every time. Number 5 for me is good quality clothing. And no, that doesn't mean Gucci. It means...
You see he got a polo shirt on. I just caught that. You see he rocking a comfortable polo shirt. Didn't need a suit, but he could be taken serious compared to just wearing a t-shirt.
Good quality, timeless pieces from brands that are priced well and stylish. I like Ralph Lauren, Vuori, Collars & Co., brands like that. And bonus tip, good quality drinking water or an in-house filtration system for your body, your drinking water, and your skin. Trust me, you'll thank me later. It's very affordable, and that is my bonus tip of the day.
Always remember, beautiful women are everywhere, yet successful men are extremely rare. Never, ever, ever forget, you are the prize.
Fellas, man, when you get to a point where you turning down bad chicks, man, when you turning down girls that people would die for, when you're not responding to every DM, when you sit up there, man, and you cutting off chicks because they disrespecting you, when you get to a point where you prioritize the bag, you prioritize your future instead of, short-term pleasure, you got to understand your energy is everything. Hey, cut off access, man. Stop following all these chicks on the gram because that's a, gateway to temptation. When you get to a point, man, when you can't be easily controlled by some head, by some box, man, you're going to be a dangerous man.
Watch this video with me. Did you catch it? Here's a train of thought. They missed 10 times, but the moment they got it right once, they did not miss again. That's the thing I keep telling you guys about consistency and patience when you're chasing your dream. You are gonna miss a lot of times. You're gonna hit and hit and hit and hit and miss all the time. You only have to get it once. You only need one hit song to make it out of the ghetto. You only need one contract to make it out of the slums. You only need one person to believe in you to get an investor. You only need one product to become a millionaire. But you have to keep doing it until you get the one. Don't give up. Once you get it, you will not stop hitting it. That's why the rich become richer. They only had to become rich once, and that money, that fame, the capacity, the relationships, they push them further and further and further. You only have to get it once. Keep at it until you get it once. Don't quit on yourself. I'll see you on the next train.
Cold plunges. I don't think it matters. There were millionaires before they ever invented a cold plunge. Following your passion. Hurtful because some people's passion is fucking video games and doing drugs and hanging out with their friends. Waking up at 5 a.m. Matters. You don't hit that snooze button? Winning day. Avoiding social media. Doesn't matter. You use your feed to feed your mind. Working out every day. Fucking matters hardcore. Dude, you gotta exhaust the body to tame the mind. Wearing the same outfit every day. Literally, it doesn't matter. Out of all the things you could argue decision fatigue, there's a ton of other shit you're probably making a decision right you should let go of. Reading 10 pages of a book every day. Very much matters. You don't know what you need to know to be rich, and the way you learn that is through books. Taking no days off. Fucking hurtful. It will bite you in the ass. Vision board. Matters. You can't hit a target you can't see, and most people don't know what the fuck they want out of life. Journaling before bed. Matters. Dumping your mind helps you sleep better, and also if you have a process for visioning what you're trying to create, when you go to bed, you actually work through that.
So I ran into one of my neighbors, one of them that's worth around like 300 million. He was like, oh, you still here? I said, yeah, I'm still here. He's like, damn, it must be going good. I said, it's going all right. It's going pretty well. It's going pretty well. He's like, where's everybody at? Where your people's at? I got quiet on him. He was like, are you still doing it? I said, yeah, of course. It's like, you haven't given up yet. I said, no. He said, So that means you're getting closer. It's like, what? He's like, understand something, Chris. Anytime you don't quit when it gets rough like this, that means something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. Remember, this is all a business. No matter what business it is, entertainment business, any kind of business, you keep going, something will happen. Something.
You see this right here? Buying stupid shit, thinking that it was gonna make me look rich, when in reality, it just set me behind.
Now remember, this brother used to be here. He lived in Medellin for 5 years. Started off his social media in Medellin. Now he's living back in Miami. He's making good money with product sales and other things that he does. But he's showing you that I wasted so much of my time and my money trying to look rich instead of doing what needs to be done in order to be rich.
I used to be somebody that thought that if I wear designer, it would make me feel good or make me look rich. And even though I was making a decent amount of money, spending that money on things like skills and learning can make me a lot more money, can compound a lot faster. I think as men, we have this like internal struggle to feel like that we're worth it. We want to show the world that we got it. When in reality, if you just put your head down, reinvest your money back into skills, into learning, you can make all the money that you want. And you can buy this shit 100 million times or this dumb shit 1 billion times. So invest your money into skills, invest your money into knowledge, invest your money into you, and you will keep making more money.
Adam Sandler was at NYU School of Arts. His professor, about halfway through the second semester, took him aside and said, Adam, I'd love to take you out for a beer. Later that night, they went out, had a beer. And the purpose of that meeting was his professor told him, didn't want to tell you this in front of everyone because I didn't want to embarrass you. But I really think you should consider a different career. You just don't have what it takes. About 15 years later, at the height of Adam Sandler's success, directly after one of his red carpet events, he was at a restaurant with his celebrity friends, and he saw that very same professor. He called him over, introduced him to all of his friends. In that moment, when he could have embarrassed that professor, he very excitedly introduced him as the only professor to ever buy him a beer in college. The measure of a man isn't squashing your oppressors or naysayers. It's that despite having the strength to do so, instead, leading with compassion. You don't have to scream your accomplishments from the rooftops. Your success as a man speaks loudly enough, and your silence is deafening.
And I don't give a fuck about them bitch ass 10,000 steps, because how did you track your food like I told you? Hi, my name is Nikki. I'm an online coach who don't be playing with my motherfucking clients. Bitch, look, I get it. You working out, that's good. You ain't a big bag couch potato no more. But all I ask for you to do is track your goddamn food so you know what you putting in your body. You want to get strong in the gym, but you don't know how much protein you get. You want to lose weight, but you don't know how many calories you eating every day. It's fucking diabolical. I just need to see what you're doing so I can tell you whether you're doing the right thing or not. How the fuck can somebody help you and you don't know what the fuck you ate? You just know you ate something. Bitch, do you know how many times you can forget what the fuck you ate by just not tracking? You can eat 75,000 motherfucking calories before in a blink of an eye. Literally, it don't take that long to eat that much food. You stop at the stove, you underestimating the calories on these little ass snacks. The snacks are little as fuck, but the calories are bigger than the motherfucker. You gotta be mindful of this shit. Stop snacking and do the meal prepping. And fucking track everything.
Oh, man.
God damn. Buy muscle headed hoes and get the fuck out that drive through. I see your bitch ass.
I want this energy or nothing. That's Coach Nikki. And she's a coach that's going to tell you the truth. She says the shit I've always wanted to say. It's all true. All of it. Everything she said is true. You might not like her delivery, but the message, spot on. I hope you hear it.
I know it sounds crazy, but I've tested this concept called backwards manifestation. It's how I achieved 4 of my biggest dreams in life. Winning a Grammy, being on a magazine cover, being in a Super Bowl commercial, and hitting 9 million followers. The first thing I realized is that journaling and vision boards just weren't enough. They didn't inspire me to take enough action. So when I was 19, broke in my mom's basement, I tried something that I had never heard anybody talk about. It's where you take your dreams and you turn them into physical objects. And I'm doing it right now with my next dream. Write a book and sell 10 million copies. You see this? I paid somebody on Etsy to make me this book. It's not real. There's nothing in it. This was a life hack for me for all my dreams coming true. I talked about writing a book for the past 7 years. And when I finally made a physical mock-up, in the past 3 months, I've written over 60,000 words in my book. How can you do this? If you're a musician, go on Etsy and get a platinum plaque today. If you're an entrepreneur, do what Jim Carrey did. Write yourself a check and keep it in your wallet. Or you could do what...
Yep, Jim Carrey, actually, for those that already know this, Jim Carrey wrote himself a check for $10 million when he was flat, broke, wasn't famous, nothing. And I think it was in less than 7 years, Jim Carrey was cashing that check to himself. So yes, it's great for those of us who have vision boards. My number one vision board is for people that don't know, my number one vision board, and I don't know why people don't have this themselves, is, let me go right here, my cell phone. This is the Colombian stock market. This is Andre and I. This says give, always give, Andre. This is our goal to purchase a home. And this right here is finances, dollars, of course. My number one vision board is my cell phone. I've got my vision board with my goals right here. I've mentioned this before. I have on my whiteboard, one of the first things I have is my what if. It says this: what would my life look like if? So if you guys want to write this down for your vision board or your whiteboard, I have this up here, and I've had this up here, and it's helped me out a lot. What would my life look like if I worked out 2 hours a day? What would my life look like if I meditated 30 minutes a day? Just quiet time. You don't have to, if you pray, you pray. If you meditate, you meditate. If you're just sitting there and not doing anything, your cell phone off, just for 30 minutes, cell phones off. You ain't answering no phones. What would your life look? What would my life look like for 30 minutes a day if it was just quiet? What would my life look like if I worked for 4 hours a day plus? Some cases 8 hours. What would my life look like if I read 1 hour a day? Cell phone off, everything off. What would my life look like? Now, this is the only one I haven't stuck to. What would my life look like if I studied Spanish 1 hour a day? So y'all got me on that one. And number 7, what would my life look like if I just took time out to clean shoes for an hour a day, or took time out to clean up the studio for an hour a day, or if Andre is gone, I had to clean the kitchen for 1 hour a day? What would my life look like? Clean clothes for 1 hour a day, or work out and clean my system for 1 hour, whatever it is. Clean my mind for 1 hour a day. Just clear my mind of thoughts and write in my journal. What would my life look like if I did these things? So once again, I have on the board, it says, what would my life look like if I work out for 2 hours a day, wrote something, wrote anything, wrote in a journal, wrote a book, wrote notes, anything, PowerPoint. What if I did that for 2 hours a day? What if I meditate or just had some quiet time for 30 minutes a day? What if I worked from 4 hours to 8 hours a day? What if I read for 1 hour a day? What if I study Spanish for just 1 hour a day? What if I just cleaned something for 1 hour a day? And then my final goal is this on my whiteboard. This is what I pray about. I want to give millions. I want to have millions, and I want to help millions. That's my lifetime goal. Before I leave this planet, I want to give in the millions.
In order to do that, I want to have in the millions. And we want to help millions. And that's what we pray about. And these are the goals that I have on my board. And I said my number one vision board is my cell phone. I look at this all day, every day, like you guys do. What's the first thing that pops up in front of you? If you sat back and you said, what is the vision board on your cell phone right now? What is it? It should not just be your kids. It should not just be a person that you love. I want to say this again. Shout out to you and your kids, or shout out to you and your wife. I have that. I have me and my wife, but I also have other things that I need to envision. Investments here in Colombia, purchasing a home here in Colombia, giving here in Colombia and beyond. Why is it so easy for me and Andrea to think about giving during an earthquake and not just think about ourselves? Because this vision board has been here, and every time I open it up, it says, Andre, don't forget to give. Don't forget to invest. Don't forget your relationship with Andrea. Don't forget about thinking about purchasing a home in whatever country. And don't forget about what your dream is, to give millions, to make millions by helping millions. Don't forget that, Dre. So every time I pop my cell phone open, it's telling me that. What does your cell phone say every time you pop your cell phone open? What vision do you have? What vision do you have every time you open up your cell phone? Because that's your vision board. Whether you want to admit it or not. What you see is that's what you're going to get. If all you see are just you and your kids, then that's it. And you're wondering why you're not mastering in many other areas that you could master. So now I'm about to add on to this my fitness, among other things. My spiritual walk is going to be added on to this. So this is going to be a little different in a few weeks. But I know what my vision board is. My brother say no exceptions, no excuses. Absolutely correct. Shout out to you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's continue on. So this brother is right.
Arnold Schwarzenegger did. Put yourself on a magazine and hang it on the wall. This isn't fake it till you make it. This is make it till you make it. I'm at the coffee shop. There's a kid washing the window and he looks so distraught. I said, what's wrong? And he's like, man, I shouldn't be here. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, man, I have a dream. Like, I'm a music producer. Like, I'm working the second job. I just shouldn't be here. I said, okay, let me try to turn it around for him. We need to talk about the future. I said to him, have you ever seen Diplo come in here? He said, I've seen Diplo a couple times. I was like, yeah. So next time Diplo comes in here, you're going to talk to him. He's going to love you. He's going to invite you to the house. He's going to send you sessions. Y'all are going to be working together. He started getting excited, talking about the future. A week later, I walk into the coffee shop. That kid damn near jumped over the counter. And he said, can I give you a hug? I was like, why do you want to give me a hug, bro? He said it worked. Diplo came to the coffee shop. I went to talk to him. And then he said, we're going to work together. I was like, holy shit. That kid just got introduced to the whole Major Lasers team. And he just put in his resignation at the coffee shop.
No way.
It's like this magical moment. We have to find somebody to talk about the future with and actually believe it and be a little bit delusional. Take fucking 15 minutes out of your day and just go to rainbow and butterfly land of the future and see it.
This is the bedroom of a future broke guy. This is the bedroom of a future rich guy. This is the physical shape of a future broke guy. This is the physical shape of a future rich guy. This is how the free time of a future broke guy is spent. This is how the free time of a future rich guy is spent. These are the friends of a future broke guy. These are the friends of a future rich guy. Believe it or not, this is the most real video I've ever done, because the habits and decisions we make today are going to define your future. And this I lived with my own experience. I've had friends that were good for nothing and they brought me down with them. Today, I only spend time with people that can bring me up, and because of that, my results keep rising. So if you want to be this guy and not this guy, make sure you have the right habits and the 5 people to hang out with.
If you don't control your spending will control you. Never depend on one source of income. Build multiple streams. Money doesn't grow when you save it. It grows when you move it smartly. Don't work for money. Make money work for you.
Invest in yourself first. Knowledge compounds faster than money.
So true. So true.
Mindset is everything. The difference between a good day and a bad day is your attitude. Your mind is a powerful thing. When you fill it with positive thoughts, your life will start to change. To shift your life, you must first shift your mindset. All the problems are stuck between mind and matter. And if you don't mind, it doesn't matter. I focus on obstacles and find problems.
I focus on opportunities and find wealth. I spend first, then save what's left over, sadly. I invest first, spend only what remains after wisely.
If I woke up from a bad dream tomorrow and I was 50 pounds overweight, here's the shit I'd get at the grocery store. Number 1, proteins. I would get chicken breast, chicken thighs, lean ground beef 93.7 or 96.4, ideally, eggs and egg whites, and then cottage cheese. Good culture, by the way.
All right, so we got the proteins down for all you guys. He says if I was 50 pounds overweight today, I get my proteins. Let's see what's next.
Carb sources, any kind of potato, goated for satiety. Oatmeal, any kind of rice, specifically jasmine rice is my favorite. Sourdough bread, and cream of rice cereal. Fats, just grab some avocados. You're going to get enough fats from things like whole eggs and animal meats. Fruits, get all the berries, all of them. Apples, clementines or oranges, kiwis, watermelon. Supplements, protein powder first and foremost, filling those nutrient gaps. Omega-3 fish oils, vitamin D3 plus K2, magnesium, and some creatine monohydrate.
I got all those sitting right here. Rock Kitchen. I got all those sitting right here, right within arm's length. Absolutely correct. Gotta have berries, man. Berries are some of the greatest brain foods there is, man. If you want mental clarity, I'm telling you, at an older age, bruh, you gotta have berries. Blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, anything that's in the berry family, you gotta have your diet on a regular basis if you're an older dude. It really, really helps with your thinking.
Hydrate. And last but not least, vegetables. Just grab a bunch of vegetables, all of them.
5 Stoic all-time one-liners. The first, from Seneca, he says, "He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." Don't torture yourself with anxiety. Don't torture yourself with catastrophizing. Don't torture yourself by all the bad things that can happen. Stay in the moment. 2, from Marcus Aurelius, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is the famous idea that the obstacle is not in the path, it is the path. It's giving you a chance to do things differently, to do things in a way that you wouldn't have chosen, but in a way ultimately that makes you better for having to wrestle.
I like that. The obstacle is not in your way. The obstacle is the way. It is the way that you're going to master whatever that is. It's not in your way. It is the way.
With it. Number 3, from Epictetus, "It's impossible to learn that which you think you already know." Ego is the enemy. It prevents you from learning more. It prevents you from hearing what you need to hear. It prevents you from seeing what you need to see. Number 4.
Let's go back to number 3. It's always stay on learning mode. Always stay, never, ever, 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 ever. If there's any mode that I know I'm going to die on, it's learner mode. I am always going to be in the middle of learning something. I will never get to the point where a younger person can't tell me anything. I'll never get to that point where an older person can't tell me anything. I'm not one of those guys that it goes in one ear and out the other type of guy. I'm always on learner mode. I live, I breathe every morning. I am out to learn something that's going to take this life to the next level. And it's not just about money. Remember, the greatest wealth is your health.
Always stay on learner mode. Never, ever get to the point where your ego is telling you, can't nobody tell me nothing. Oh, he don't know what he talking about. Never do that, bruh. Whether you accept what that person is saying or not, that's up to you. But at least be on learner mode to hear the person out. Always be on learner mode, dude. Stay learning. Always be on learner mode. And you're going to be on learner mode till you get to the point where it overflows and you're sharing what you're learning. That's how you know that you're on learner mode. That all of a sudden it just overflows. And that's why now, when if you ever notice, content creators that come on this show and do an interview and they got a new channel, I say, hey, off the channel, I'll be like, hey, if you need any help with this, I'll help you out with your YouTube channel for free. And they think, well, Andre's just talking, and we'll schedule a free consultation. And I'll show them all the bells and whistles of how to help their channel blow up. Me and Andre have helped so many content creators blow their channels up, even larger than ours. And we've never said anything. Just like O'Shea helped Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels knew to be on learner mode, even though he was on YouTube all those years doing colognes and other men's clothing products, or items. He didn't blow up until he started working with O'Shea. Always be on learner mode, because you never know who you're going to meet that's going to be able to teach you something that's going to be able to take your life to a whole nother level. Always be on learner mode. Never leave learner mode, ever. I will die in the middle of learning something. My wife lives on learner mode. We are always in the middle of learning something new. Always. That's what I love about Theo's graduates. They are making six figures, and those guys are still saying, we need to get that certification, this certification, that. I'm like, wait a minute, you're already making six figures. But yeah, on my job, you still continue on getting new certifications. In other words, just because they're making six figures and they graduated Theo's courses, doesn't mean that they are no longer on learner mode. They're constantly. Tech is a career of being on constant learner mode. You see, Theo's been doing this since the early 90s. And do not Theo talk like he's a student. At the same time, he's a teacher. You notice that about Theo? He talks just as much as I just learned this. I just found out about that. I just was trying to learn this. I just figured out how to do that. Just as much as he's our instructor. Always be on learner mode, guys. I kid you not. IMF says, he says some of the richest people have the cleanest inner universe. That's a good way of putting it. The cleanest inner universe. They are not busy trying to have appearances because they know they are only giving energy away to jealous contemporaries on the plantation. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. That's a great way of putting it. And my brother Rico says this. He said, Andre, just the opposite. I can learn from young people. Absolutely correct. That's how no. That's what I meant. I'm always open to learn from younger people. I'm not one of them dudes that's so old that I can't learn from Austin. Half of what I do on content creation now is I'm learning from somebody that's 35, 25, 27, 21, 19. YouTube is a young person's game. If you don't, if you don't want to be successful, don't think that. Just take the time out and stop trying to learn from young people. Let's put it like that. If you do not want to be successful in content creating, I promise you, the number one thing that you need to do is just stop trying to learn from younger people. And I promise you, you will not be successful on TikTok. YouTube, Instagram, or any of these platforms. It is a young person's game. They see things 5-6 years down the line to where we older folks, we just can't get caught up. So I listen to younger content creators when it comes to how to do this thing and streamline it. Streamline it. Let's continue on, gentlemen. This is a good video.
For Marcus Aurelius, the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. He says basically that our life is guided by what we think about. If we choose to see everything as awful and sad and gloomy and impossible, well, it'll look that way, which goes to the idea that the obstacle is the way. How are you going to see this? Do you see it as an opportunity or as an obstacle? And number 5, finally, from Epictetus, it's not what happens to you, it's how you react that matters. It's about what you do with it. It's about what you make of it. It's about who you become because of it.
Hey, my nigga, as men, we don't have a lot of people telling us this, and you probably know what I'm talking about. So I'm here to tell you, man to man, are you listening? My nigga, I want you to know that you've been acting like a bitch. It's time to get your ass back in the gym. You've been slacking. Your excuses mean shit to nobody. Get your ass up, be a man. Ain't nobody coming to save you.
Oh, and another thing, make sure.
To all of the fellas out there, strive to be the man that God would be exceptionally proud of. Strive to be the man that God will put on a pedestal and say, hey, this is the example. This is the standard. Be like this guy.
Is your life a prototype? That's basically what he's saying. Can your life be a prototype when it comes to a particular field? Let's say your life is not a prototype in every area. Most of us, our lives aren't. But when it comes to fitness, can I look at you and say, yeah, I would like that. That's my prototype right there. That's how I want to do it like that. When it comes to knowledge, when it comes to learning, when it comes to travel, when it comes to women, when it comes to family, when it comes to spirituality, is there any area? I'm being serious, being honest. Ask yourself, is there any area of your life that somebody can see you as a prototype? I don't care if you're the best mechanic to where everybody else is saying, yeah, that's if you want your transmission taken care of, I got a partner down the street. He that guy. He that prototype. When it comes to travel and traveling wisely and having fun and enjoying yourself, is how you travel the way that others will want to say, I'm trying to do it like him. I'm trying to do it like her. Are you the prototype that people want to experience? When it comes to relocation, moving to another country, is there anything about your relocation experience that people can look at you and say, that's my prototype right there. He knows how to buy property in other countries. If I was to follow anybody when it comes to buying properties, that would be that dude. Is there anything about your life that's a prototype? If not, why not? Why not you? Why can't you be a prototype, at least in one area of your life? I sit back and I look at 0 milligram. 0 milligram did this. Literally. He went to Amazon, purchased the book, our book, Anywhere is Possible. Read the book. Literally followed the blueprint of the book. And this is the crazy part. I actually put the blueprint in the first 2 chapters. Now, for all you guys on Patreon, the book is on Patreon for free, right? But I know how people read, so I put a mini step-by-step how-to in the first 2 chapters. And then I gave you more thorough detail of each one in all the other chapters. 0 milligram, my man Vic followed the blueprint because he wanted to leave the United States. He had never been here to Colombia before. That man sold his house, sold his car. He had already retired from his job. He's ex-military. He moved here to Cali, Colombia. He lives in one of the nicest apartments that I have seen. His routine every day, except for the weekend, Spanish in the morning, salsa classes in the afternoon. Spanish in the morning, salsa classes in the afternoon. The dude's, he's only been here 9 months. The dude's Spanish is boom. Salsa dancing, he's got it. What's my point? My point is he's a prototype of how it's supposed to be done. Is your life a prototype in any area? Like, you're the guy that people say, hey, I'll give you a perfect example. When I was in prison, true story. When I was in prison, you guys know I was the GED teacher for 2 years, and I was the baker. So I would get up early in the morning, do the baking job, and then I would go and be the GED teacher. Never had a failure. Nobody ever, you took my classes, you never failed. Everybody got their GED. I helped them. I was helping people enroll in college because back in the day, in the 90s, you could leave prison with a master's degree. So after you got your GED, you enrolled in college because the professors would come to the prison. So there were classrooms set up in the prison. So you had a professor on Monday, on Wednesday, and Fridays that came from the college. And how I got the job as the GED teacher and the guy that was helping individuals enroll in college, you know how I got it? Being a prototype. Guys said, I don't know who that dude is. He's the only person I see that reads the amount of books on motivation, inspiration, autobiographies, how to. Nobody's reading like that. Everybody else is reading Donald Goins, all the Pimp and Player books, all the Harlequin romance books in prisons. I never read any of those books. I have never read a Donald Goins. I know him as an author. I have never picked up a Donald Goins book. None of them pimp books that you hear about that people in prison read. I never read none of that trash. So when they say who's going to be the GED teacher, and they said the dude that's walking across campus, that one brother that's always walking with his head down in a book. Who's that dude? That's Brother Spence. That's who we want. Get him. Get him. We don't want anybody else. We don't need anybody else. We don't need to question who's got credentials, who used to teach, who didn't teach. That dude that spent in the child line, he's got a big book. When he's in there watching television with you guys, he's reading a big book. He's always got some form of knowledge, of motivation, inspiration in his hand. Who is that dude? That's who we're going to get. They didn't even know my name. You're not working that job anymore. You're working as the school teacher from now on. And from that job, people across federal prisons got to know who I was, because so many people were transferring here and there, and I was transferring so much that people knew who I was even before I got to a prison compound. They already know who Brother Spence was. All that from reading. All that from being a prototype in one area of my life. Dedicate yourself to being a prototype, an example to people around you. Whether you're the only traveler in your family and nobody in your family is going to know about traveling except through your experience from watching you, while everybody else in the family is saying, that's crazy. Why is he going here? Why is you keep going? Because I'm telling you, take it from me and my uncle. Other family members are tapping us on the shoulder, asking us, oh, yeah, I want to live outside the country too. Why? Because me and my Uncle Jeffrey are prototypes when it comes to travel. And many of you guys are prototypes in your families when it comes to travel. He says this. He said, Atkinson framework. Negative thoughts weaken attitude and actions. Fear, doubt, pessimism, and defeatism tend to consume mental energy and enforce themselves through repeated attention. Absolutely correct. Absolutely. And you can't think small. That is so true, brother. So true. You might be the only person in your family that thinks big. You might be the only person in your whole family that thinks big. Let's continue on.
Be a man of honor. Be a leader. Be a man of integrity. Be the man that does the right thing regardless if people are looking or not. Be a man of discipline. Be the man that treats everybody how he would like to be treated, if not better. Be the respectful man. Be trustworthy. Be the safe space for those around you. Lift those up around you. Be the gentle giant. Be the warrior in the garden. Be the type of man that can lead those into battle and the people behind you don't panic. They don't think things can go wrong. They trust you. They rely on you. Be the reliable man. And watch how your life pan out, bro. The men who did these things, these are the type of prominent men that we still talk about to this day. These are the type of men that have lasting legacies. Be the man that God needs you to be.
Here's a stat I can't unsee. About 30 years ago, over half of all American men had at least 6 close friends. Today, only 27% of men can say that, and 15% of men have absolutely no close friends. 0. And we all know what happens next. Loneliness in men carries the same mortality risk as smoking 15 Newports a day. Scientific fact. Not feeling a little down. A pack and a half a day. Ugh. The homies on social media. Ugh. The group chat. Ugh. Your spotter, if you have one. Men usually aren't going to tell each other when we're struggling. Because we weren't raised to do that. We were raised to handle it. No matter what. And in knowing that, maybe that means we have to change how we talk to each other. Just asking you good is really a feedback loop. You good is always answered with, I'm straight. Maybe it's best we try something different. Like, what's been on your mind lately? Or, sometimes just sitting with the homies in silence, shoulder to shoulder. No eye contact needed. Sometimes that's how we talk. But I can't script that for you. That's the part you're going to have to figure out yourself. You just got to do it. In between sets, in between meetings, in between whatever you feel is more important. I'm pretty sure the homies ain't looking for you to fix them. But I'm positive they're looking for you to see them. At the end of the day, we all still human.
Why should you travel?
You should most definitely travel because there's more to the world than the United States. And you need to figure out that different circumstances, different cultures, different histories, different laws create different interactions, different mindsets with how people view the world. And I always say outside of the rest of the outside of the United States, the way how day-to-day life feels, it feels like it makes sense. A lot of stuff in America doesn't feel like it makes sense. I find people in other parts of the world just be more pleasing to interact with on a day-to-day basis. But whenever you travel, you find out more about yourself. And so if you have certain bad habits, like if you have a drinking problem, and that drinking problem follows you to Chile, Colombia, Kenya, Thailand, and China, I don't think that the countries are the place, but the same thing that's following you is you. So you get to see things that you wouldn't see if you stay complacent in one place.
There's a lot of information and power that you can obtain when you leave the US.
What actually made you want to start traveling?
That's a good question. Honestly, I don't tell this story enough, but I gotta give it to my dad. My dad was always a traveler. He had been to so many different places. And one of the few things he said to me, I think he said this to me when I was about like 22, 23. He was like, before you settle down, before you get married, before you pick the woman that you're going to have for the rest of your life, he was like, I want you to go and travel. I want you to go to different countries. I want you to date women in other places. I want you to see what their cultures are like. I want you to see how they are. And then when you've done that, when you've gone to a couple places, then you could pick the woman, because you'll have more knowledge, you'll have more kinds of experience. And that was something, it's a little deeper than that. It's not just black and white how you say it. Like there's a lot of information and power that you can obtain when you leave the US. And now you can actually make the decision if, okay, the US might be better for me, or Asia might be better for me, South America might be better for me. You know, so that was one of my biggest motivations. And then also just the fact that we live in the only day and age where, you know, people have to travel 4, 6, 7 months to get to another country. I can just hop on a flight. I'll be there in a couple hours. So why not take advantage?
Science shows that traveling abroad can be great for your brain, and here's why. Traveling abroad can help you relax, but it can actually do more to your brain than you realize. The moment you arrive somewhere new, your brain has to start paying attention, because the streets are going to look different, the sounds are going to be unfamiliar, and the language that people speak may not be yours. So your brain cannot predict what comes next. So it really has to pay attention. This is an example of neuroplasticity in real life. The brain builds new connections when it cannot rely on habits. The novelty of visiting a new place strengthens learning, attention, and flexibility. And that is why people often feel more creative while they're traveling. And new cultures can loosen your rigid thinking, and problems that felt stuck before a trip often feel clearer after, because the brain finally has room to see them differently. And navigating unfamiliar places can help you build confidence, because each small success, like navigating a new city or learning new words from a new language, can help you rewire your sense of what you can handle. And that confidence will follow you home. And you do not need luxury or long trips. Even a few days of novelty can help. And if traveling is not possible, changing your life still works, like visiting a new neighborhood, or ticketing for a route to work or back home, or learning from people around you with a different culture.
I don't know if I should be telling y'all this, but I'm gonna tell it to y'all anyway. Only for a select few of y'all. Y'all need to travel internationally, because you're gonna learn 5 things. You're gonna gain 5 qualities. The first quality is courage. A lot of people complain how men are weak. Is because a lot of men aren't courageous. So if you go and travel overseas to countries in South America and Asia, or wherever you want to go, you are going to be able to deal with uncertainty. A lot of men are afraid of being uncomfortable, and that's why they don't succeed in life. So make sure you travel. The second thing that you gain is you develop prudence, meaning you have the ability to scout out something that you're unfamiliar with, figure out what's good, what's bad, and then you make decisions around it, and you avoid risk. When you guys go into international lands, you have to do this. Otherwise, it's going to be bad times for you. The third thing that you gain when you travel internationally is that you learn how to be subtle. A lot of y'all be too loud with y'all movements, man. Like Lil Wayne said, real G's move in silence like lasagna. Y'all be moving too loud and then be wondering why you got all these ops and got all this conflict. When you go to a place internationally, you realize, whoa, I'm a foreigner. I could have a huge target on my back. Let me chill and let me just act normal. And you kind of blend in with the society, and you bring less noise to you and your family. So it'll help you become more subtle in life. The fourth thing that you gain is you become more open-minded. A lot of you guys are not layered, and then you want to go on these dates and find good friends, but you have no value. So when you start to travel internationally, what happens is that you're able to gain more life experience. You're able to have more stories to tell. People become intrigued and fascinated with you, and they start to respect you a lot more. And the fifth thing that you gain is the ability to adapt. If you want to be really resilient and have true self-worth and self-belief that can't be shaken, you have to put yourself in situations that you're unfamiliar with and learn to adapt, learn to cope, learn to find different ways to survive. Because when hard times come, the man who's the most adaptable is the man who's going to oftentimes succeed. So I hope this video helped y'all. I'm out, man. Peace.
For you guys. All right. Before the next brother speaks on the importance of travel, talking to us, man, shout out to my brother Aiken. With a $5 love over there on Zelle. Appreciate you, brother. And T-Mac says, he said, too many dudes came to Medellin too loud and attracted too much negative attention. Absolutely correct. I think that's the biggest mistake that guys did. Not going to Medellin was not the problem. That's not what T-Mac is saying. That's not what I've ever said. The being too loud on social media and showboating everything, not keeping your business to yourselves. Ugh, that's what hurt a lot of dudes. He said, for me, it starts with Skype, then the passport. Now remember, fellas, passports give you wings. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. I remember back in the day with the Skype and a chick.
Guys that are divorced and you have time on your hands, time away from the kids, maybe you have no kids, you need to get out and see the world. I cannot overemphasize how important that is. You need to see the world from different perspectives. You need to see new cultures. You need to see, yes, different women in different cultures. It just makes you a much more well-balanced human being.
The average man who travels abroad makes 23% more money than those who stay home.
Wow. Let that one sink in. I told you I'll be watching these videos along with y'all, man. I don't be knowing every video. So a lot of times I see stuff for the first time myself. The average man who travels makes 23% more money than a man that doesn't. Wow.
But here's what's really happening. Men who travel internationally develop skills that employers can't ignore. They're 40% more likely to get promoted within 2 years. They speak an average of 2.3 languages, and they build networks that span continents. While other guys are scrolling social media, these men are collecting passport stamps and paychecks. They're not just seeing the world, they're conquering it. The question isn't whether you can afford to travel abroad. It's whether you can afford not to. Your future self will thank you for taking that first step. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.
Here are 5 biblical reasons you need a vacation. Number 1, God commands us to rest.
All right. Deuteronomy 15:12, when God tells us to rest.
Number 2, we can admire God's creation. Number 3, they're an opportunity to spread the gospel. Number 4, they recharge our batteries. And number 5, God wants us to have fun.
If this video doesn't convince you to solo travel, I don't know what will. I'm in Amsterdam right now. Just got back from the gym, played some basketball, about to go out to the club tonight, Wednesday night, in the Netherlands. Let's get it. Just have a great night. And this is just honestly why I just love to travel. Getting to meet new people everywhere you go is like something new, like something you've never seen before. Such a great and like specific feeling that you don't get all the time. I know there's a lot of people out here who want to travel, want to go on trips, but they can't because they're waiting on someone, waiting on friends. And I want to say, fuck that. Go on that trip, bro. Stop waiting for that person. Stop waiting on their availability. Like, you only have one life. You got to do what you got to do when you want to do it, bro. Especially if you're able, if you're blessed enough to say, I can go on a trip and I have the tools, the resources, like, do it, man. Like, stop waiting for people. You're going to be waiting forever. Like, it was Tuesday night last night. I met some really cool people that I would genuinely like invite to come see me back in the United States, and they would do the same. Especially as a solo traveler, it is nerve-wracking sometimes because you feel like an outsider at first. You feel like, you don't belong. You feel like everyone's watching you. That moment where you finally like meet the people and find your little circle and find the people who are going to like be like happy to see you and like happy to like know you're different is just, it's so amazing. Like, look at the view, guys. Like, this is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Answer.
Shout out to Amsterdam and shout out to the brother that's out there, man. Yes, sir.
Amsterdam is honestly like my new favorite city, bro. I love this city. It's beautiful.
Not every black man with a passport is traveling the world for cheeks. I had to say that because when I first started traveling back in 2014, it was a completely different atmosphere on social media, very encouraging. Now that same atmosphere is very turbulent. Do I understand? Yes, of course, because you do have some who perpetuate that type of behavior and they put it in the front for everybody to see. I understand. But it's like when you paint that same picture all across the board and generalize it's like that, I'm like, wait. I travel for culture. I travel for other things besides cheeks.
Before he goes any further, shout out to our brother David Dice in the building. Dave said this. I'm extremely late, but hey, salute to the family. Andre and Andrea, salute, chat, and chat brothers. Shout out to you, David. Glad to see that you made it tonight, man. Glad to see that, even though we're almost done with this particular part of the video, but shout out to you. And a lot of us, our first try, a lot of guys feel a little bit ashamed that you're not bragging about, or that you didn't start your travels on party mode and on the mode for the ladies. All of us who didn't start travel for the ladies, don't feel ashamed, man. You know, we always let the dudes that be partying and pay for play and the sex pets and all them dudes, always they can shout theirs for the man. I went to DR for the ladies, man. I went for all the big dude. I went to DR because I liked DR. I always wanted to go there. I went to Mexico because I was like, let me get to Mexico. I've been to Canada a bunch of times. Let me go to Mexico. I did not go because, oh, man, I'm gonna get all these Mexican women. I don't have no story to tell y'all about. I flew to Colombia because I saw a video with a bunch of Colombian women in big butt. Remember, all my friends in the States were Colombians. I was already going to the Colombian clubs. I already knew how thick and how fine Colombian women were. I was going to the Colombian concerts. I was doing all that because I lived in the Colombian neighborhood in Tampa, right? So it was nothing new to me. So when I came to Colombia, I wanted to experience the country. Now, did I see the beautiful ladies and meet beautiful ladies? Yes. But I can admit I have never been to a country just for some coochie. But I can tell you, I know a whole bunch of dudes that say that they had. Man, what's the use of going to that country if you can? I've heard this a lot on social media. What is the use to going to a country? What is the use of going to a country if you ain't smashing chicks? I think that is asinine. I think that is immature. I think that is just foolish. But that's what Andre thinks. The other person who says that thinks that I'm crazy. You telling me you went to DR and you wasn't trying to smash a bunch of chicks? Nah, bro. See, I'm one of them dudes, when I was single, true story, I could go to a country. If I smashed, cool. If I didn't, cool. If I went to that country 5 times, if I smashed, cool. If I didn't, I'm gonna still have a good time. My good time is not going to evolve around whether I smashed a chick or not. I'm gonna tell you that now. If I was single and I'm going to Barcelona for one of the largest music festivals, you better believe I'm going to Barcelona to run with the Bulls, and I'm going to the music festivals, and I'm going to the beach. If I smash something, cool. If I don't, you better believe I had a great time in Barcelona. My money and my time and my mind do not evolve around coochie like a lot of dudes. I never was wired like that. So for all the dudes that went to DR only for the ladies, and y'all like, man, DR done, man, Sasua through. It ain't what it used to be, please. I'm a Santo Domingo man anyway. So I ain't never even been to Sasua. So my point is, man, enjoy your life, man. And don't let it just sit around the ladies. If you get with the ladies, cool. If you don't, cool, man. Have a great time. Have a great time. My brother says this. Zeta says this. He said, Mexico was my first out of the states country. He said, I traveled to the state country I traveled to. He said, I was used to living among Latin communities, so it wasn't a problem, but Mexico was cool. Yeah. We got caught up in a hurricane in Mexico. Yes, we did. Andrea reminded me. She said, how come we always get caught up in the elements? We've been caught up in a hurricane in Mexico, a hurricane in Cuba, now an earthquake in Colombia. What's going on with this marriage? Shout out to IMF in the building. He say, F shame. He say, shame is when you got statues of Black European knights, shout out to you, throughout Europe that are beloved by the people, and they are and their descendants in the U.S. don't even know about it. You got brothers that don't even go to Europe because they don't think that they can get some coochie. So they would rather keep going to DR, Philippines, Thailand. I loved Europe, man. I had a good time. T-Mac says this. He said, I just realized that I need to step up my language game. You too? He said, my Spanish has improved a lot. He said, my Japanese is on hold until my Spanish improves to a solid B2 level. He said, the only formal language studied French. That's where Andrea is. She's studying French right now. He said I had too much exposure to the Mexican culture because first wife is Mexican. He said, when my kids turned 18, I told them that to tell their mother not to call me no more. Okay. Don't call me no more, woman. Yep. I feel you, T-Mac. Let's continue on with the last part of the video.
It's like me going to Brazil. Why? I'm going to love Brazil because of capoeira. Everybody played Tekken back in the day, and because of Eddie, I fell in love with capoeira, and I know the history of it, and I can't wait to hear from the people who have instilled that history and created that history. Like, you see how that works? Travel inspires different type of personalities. So if you're a cheek chaser, hey, get it how you live, boy. Just know the risk. But just understand there are others who don't perpetuate that same type of image.
Bronnie Ware wrote this book called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. And for men, she said, one of the biggest regret that men have in their life is that they work too hard in their job. The way I think about it is like men who do not travel as much lack the ability to find purpose in life. That's why all they want to do is accumulate material possessions, which requires them to make a lot of money. And so that's why they end up putting their life and soul into their job and not into things that really matter, which is relationships and exploring the world and traveling and gaining meaningful experiences. And at the end of life, as they're nearing their deathbed, they find that accomplishment to be very shallow.
Yep. More people among men, surveys have showed that men in the later stages of our lives, when we're reflecting back, we never reflect back on the material things that we had. Studies have shown men focus on, because we're visual creatures, men focus in our later years of life on memories more than materials. Now, we like materials. You'll find older men with really nice homes, really nice cars. But if you listen to an older man, no matter how much money he has, he will tell you his stories more than he will talk about his car. He will share tales that need to be told compared to talking about his house. He may have a nice house. He's absolutely correct. Travel puts you in a position to where you can reflect. I love the fact that you can look at certain landmarks and you've been there. You're like, yeah, I was there for the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Yeah, I was there in the Colosseum in Rome. Yeah, I've been there. Yeah. Volcanoes. Yeah, I've been to a couple volcanoes. Waterfalls. Yeah, 22 of those. You know, the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, been there, done that. You know, it feels good to know that when you see the Eiffel Tower, you were there. You recognize that river that goes past the Eiffel Tower, like several blocks away. You recognize the traffic. When you watch a movie in France, you recognize the taxis. You're like, yeah, I recognize that. Yeah, I recognize that. In Brazil, it's one thing to see all the beautiful women on the beach in Rio. It's the fact that it's another thing to know that you've been to Rio and you can recognize certain areas that they're showing. Oh, that's over by so-and-so on the beach. You've been to Rio so many times or other parts of Brazil that you can recognize when the sun is coming down. It's like, oh, that's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. All that is, to most men as we get older, is far more worth than having a Lamborghini parked in the garage that you don't even drive anymore. I watch on YouTube. There's these two guys that have a detail shop on YouTube. I love their show. All they do is detail cars that have been lost or remained in the barn or the garage. And I'm talking about some of the best, the rarest cars that you can imagine have been stuck in somebody's barn or stuck in somebody's garage 27, 35 years. One guy had a custom Trans Am with the gold Phoenix on the top, right? He died. So his brother asked the detail guys, could you take it out the excuse me, take it out the barn, detail it for me, because I'm going to sell it and give the money to my mom. And they were asking, why is this car that is a treasure stuck inside of a barn with all type of dirt? I mean, the dirt was thick all over it, hay. Says that when my brother first purchased the car when they were teenagers, his first girlfriend broke up with him and he never drove it again. That's how much men care about material. And these guys, their whole YouTube channel is dedicated to going across the country and pulling cars. Dude, the other day they pulled out one of the first Corvette body types ever created with the T-top Corvette back in the day that came out like in the 60s, early 60s. Stuck in the garage for 35 years. The older men get, the less materialistic we are, and the more we focus on the memories that we created. So why am I saying this? I'm encouraging you guys, don't take for granted your travel, bruh. If you have the choice between buying that new vehicle and going to travel somewhere, bruh, take the travel. The car ain't going nowhere. But I promise you, you're going to buy the car and you're going to wish you had memories that you could have gathered from that travel. The more I talk to older dudes, when you guys come down here, none of y'all talk about y'all cars. None of y'all. None of y'all talk about y'all houses when y'all come down here to Colombia. None of y'all talk about all the women that y'all smash when y'all come down here to Colombia. But we sit back and we having scotch in one hand and a cigar in another hand. And all y'all do is talk about your travels, your experiences, the ladies that you've met in this country or in that country, some of the things, the foods, the cigars you've had in other countries. I have yet to have one of y'all guys sit down and tell me about your car or your truck back home. None of you, not one of you have ever came down here and said, Andre, well, by the way, I own a mint conditioned, I just built a, none of you. So if you think men are as materialistic as women, we aren't. As time goes on, men's materialism is our memories. It's our memories. Now, I know some of you younger brothers, oh, you crazy, Andre, you don't know what you're talking about. But like I said, one of my favorite YouTube channels is dedicated to these young guys pulling out some of the most, dude, I'm talking about some cars that you was like, hell no, that wasn't locked in there for 30 years, 25 years. You looking at some beauties. And some of the guys, most of the guys are still alive. And they're like, man, I haven't driven it, so I figured I'd clean it up and give it to my grandson. I figured I'd clean it up and give it to my. You look like that's a $95,000 classic, and he's gonna give it to his grandson like it's like his first car or something. So I kid you not, man. Build some memories, bruh. Build some memories. You will thank me as a man. Because one of the number one regrets of men in our older years and on our deathbed is the fact that we didn't travel more and we worked too much. That's true. Dudes like myself and others who are workaholics, we have to purposely push ourselves away. Because we're always thinking about a new project or a new flow of income that we're always on our mind that we're focusing on. I got the next book to write. I got this to do. I got that. And you don't know, you know what, this weekend, I'm going to push myself away and I'm going to just enjoy time with myself, enjoy time with T-Mac and all you guys when you come down to Cali, enjoy time with all the guys that are already down here, enjoy time just on the phone talking to my brother and sister, just little things that build up memories. I kid you not, guys. Hugh says this. He say, outstanding live stream in chat, Dre. He say, this live stream has put things in perspective, especially the idea of retirement sooner than later. He said, I might retire at 62 because life is not guaranteed. Most people don't know that the average American, over 50% of Social Security recipients, I'm just talking about Social Security. Now, you guys may retire from different things, but just at 62, over 50% of Americans retire at 62 years old. They don't care about the extra couple thousand or couple hundred they're going to get if they wait till 65. They're checked out. Physically, many Americans are checked out. Number one cause of Americans retiring at 62, because mentally, physically they've checked out. Number two reason is a family member's health, like your wife's or in the women's case, their husband's health is going downhill. So a woman will retire at 62 to take care of her husband, or a husband will retire at 62 to take care of his wife. Those are the number one and number two reasons why we retire as Americans at 62. Just mentally and physically, we're worn out. Those 10, 12-hour days start to catch up with us. And so we find something else to be interested in. Yep. He said, I retired at 47 due to health. So yeah, your health is very important. Good call, T-Mac. Let's continue on with this last bit of the video.
Women are much better. Women can find fulfillment with friendships and family, but men often struggle with that. And we'll just find escapism at work. And I think that's why it's one of the biggest regrets of dying men is that they work too hard at their job. So I would urge like all men. I think men in general need to venture out all there, find adventure, seek new places, and go explore and travel the world.
Boomer regret. You know, I'm 69 years old, and one of the things I regret is that I waited too long to take the big trips of a lifetime. Still haven't done it, hoping that I can in the next few years.
Let that sink in because I want to play that again. Boomer regret. He's 69 years old. He regrets that he didn't take the trips of a lifetime. He said, hopefully, I can get to it in a couple of years. You are 69 years old. And you act as if you got a couple thousand left. Guys, do not take your travel for granted, bruh. Treat your travel like it's a part of your vitamins and your minerals, your proteins and your carbs. Treat your travel like your book collection. Even if you don't go internationally, America is so beautiful. There is no, I'm going to tell you this. Let's say you don't travel internationally. Cool. Do you know how much stuff is going on in your state that you can just go explore and enjoy? There is so much to see in the state of Illinois. There is so much to see in Kansas. Florida, come on. I've been from sea to shining sea in Florida. There is so much to see in Florida. From the Panhandle all the way to the other side of Jacksonville and Daytona. If you just want to go to the Daytona, that is a huge racetrack. If you just want to say, I have never been to a car race, I watch it on television, but I've never gone, and you're in Florida, there is no way you haven't gone to the Daytona 500 or you haven't seen a Formula One race. You're telling me the Formula One races come to Detroit every year and you have never been to a Formula, bruh, if you want to see speed extraordinaire, go to a NASCAR or television does not do these cars any justice. I'll say this again. Whatever you think is fast on television, no. That somebody riding a motorcycle fast down the street, that ain't fast. Somebody flying down the street in a Corvette racing somebody else, that's not fast. Go to a bike race, a Formula One race, the truck driving races on the track, NASCAR races, or just a straight bruh. I'm talking about speed and skills that you would think that they were driving jets. Television doesn't do them any justice, bruh. How do I know? I've seen it. So even if you don't leave your own state, there is so much to see in Michigan. New York, come on, you know better. You got New York, New Jersey, and Philly right there. So much to see in DC. You were born in Bmore, and you have never really, truly checked out the nation's capitals. You haven't even been to the Martin Luther King Museum. And you live in Bmore in DC? You haven't even Googled top restaurants to go to in my state. Okay, y'all think I'm playing? Before I became a pescatarian, and I was eating meat and everything like everybody else, right? I came across an article in Oprah magazine. It was called the 10 hamburgers you must eat before you die. 10 hamburgers you must eat before you die. And they come out with that article every year. You can look it up right now. The 2026, 2025, 10 hamburgers you must eat before you die. And some of these are mom and pop hamburger spots that's hitting. Some of them are very well-known hamburgers. Bruh, I traveled to 8 of them. 2 were in New York. 1 was in Michigan. 1 was in Florida. When I did it, right? It was back in the early 2000s. 1 was in the one in San Francisco. I'm talking about you could have walked right past them. It was a small little mom and pop, bruh. It was the best hamburger you ever had in your life. A small little itty bitty. And I'm talking about when you ate that burger, you was like, I see why they on the list. So even if you don't leave the United States, go to the Grand Canyon, bruh. I'm telling you, it's one thing to see the Grand Canyon on TV. It is another thing to be at the Grand Canyon and you like, this is the Grand Canyon that was on the Brady Bunch. The same Brady, what? Go to Hawaii. Stop worrying about, well, white people this and there's more white people there for the dude. You ain't going for the white people. You going for you. Go see. If you're a dude like me, go to some of the music events in the other parts of your own state. Bruh, you know what I miss? I miss Jazz in the Park events. You talking about a dude that had his tent and had my cooler and had my little mini barbecue. Give me some Jazz in the Park. Man, I'm in every state. I don't care who it is. If it's a sunny day and it is Jazz for 3 days, you better believe, and ask my Uncle Jeffrey, think I'm lying. Clearwater Jazz Festival used to be every October, right around my birthday. Man, I'm in Clearwater with my let them pretend it's gonna be a jazz event. I don't care if it's teenagers playing jazz. Andre gonna be out there with his tent. People used to always ask me, where'd you get your tent from? I kid you not. You coming to Colombia. Bogota got every year, the Bogota Jazz Festival out in the park every year. Some of you guys have been to Medellin 100 times. You have never been to Medellin on Fashion Week. The same Fashion Week that they have in Europe, the same one that they have in New York, is the same Fashion Week they have in Medellin every year. And you dudes have never been to Fashion Week in Medellin. Get the So even if you don't go internationally first, travel have you guys ever watched International House Hunters or International what's the channel with the, I forget the channel with the International House Hunters and House Hunters episode. I forget the life like the homeowners channel. I forget the name of that channel on cable, right? And they used to have a show called Tiny Houses, right? And I was like, wow. HGTV, thanks, brother. Thanks, Jeff. HGTV. So I'm like, wow. Tiny houses. So I'm looking like, wow. I said, man, them houses look kind of nice for some tiny houses. Bruh. How come they had the tiny houses convention on the other side of Florida? Like a half an hour outside, and I forget the name of it. I think it was Austin or Austria, like one of the first cities of Florida, like the first city of Florida that ever existed. Austin, Austria, Austin. Starts with an A, I forget. But it's the first city of Florida, right? Yeah, man, I love some International House Hunters. That's one of my top shows right there. That helped me start traveling because I was looking at how houses look in other countries. And so they had the tiny house convention. Dude, I drove 3.5 hours from Tampa to Daytona because Daytona has Bethune-Cookman, HBCU. In a half an hour from Daytona, I say maybe about an hour from Daytona, they were having the tiny house. And bruh, I was like a kid in a candy store because I got a chance to go into tiny house. And I'm 6'3". I knew I couldn't fit in any of it, but it was just amazing to see in real life these houses. And they weren't like doll houses. These were real houses. Man, you gotta see America, bruh. You gotta at least see your own state. You gotta at least, if you're from Michigan, ain't no way in the world you haven't been traveled through Michigan. You from Illinois, you from dude, are you from the Dakotas? As beautiful as the Dakotas are in Utah, in Wyoming? Man, if y'all don't start traveling the United States and stop playing, the United States is beautiful. So that's where I first, if the United States had stamps, I would easily have like 27, 30 stamps. Easily. If it was a passport stamp for just being in your state, I have at least 27, 30 stamps. I know I ain't hit all 50, but I know I got about good 27 under my belt. You live in Georgia. All type of stuff is going on in Georgia year round, not just Atlanta. Zeta says, Dre. All right, guys. He said, guys on YouTube, on the YouTube show, The Present House. He said, I described to a few. He said they show incredible homes in and out of the States. Absolutely correct. I love those shows, man. I ain't gonna even lie. Any of the House Hunter episodes, I like House Hunters because I get a chance to guess, like, see, if it was me, I would go for that one over there, even though it's like 10 miles away from her job, but she want to get the one that's closer to her job, but you know, it ain't enough bedrooms for her and the kids. So, but then the third one is brand new, but she doesn't like the aesthetic of a new house. So which one does she go for? So I like House Hunters, International House. Man, please. I can watch that all day long. But you're going to regret not traveling to the United States. I'll tell you that right out the gate. I have no regrets about the United States because I traveled throughout the United States. Nobody could tell me about LA because I saw LA. I spent time there several times. So I understand when T-Mac and them guys are talking about LA. Have I been to every area of LA? No. But I've been there enough to sit back and say, I know what they're talking about. I know what area they're talking about. I know what traffic they're talking about. I know what type of food is out there. The tourist atmosphere of California is completely different from the tourist atmosphere of New York and Florida. Completely different type of energy and atmosphere. So I kid you not, man, boy, y'all missing out on America. That one, I could tell y'all, get on a highway, man, and just go. He said nothing like driving on Highway 1 in California along the Pacific Ocean in a convert. Man, me and my uncle was talking the other day how you used to just let the convertible down and just drive. I used to just wait for the sun to go down on a Friday night. I wasn't going nowhere. All I was doing was I filled the tank up and I would just roll with the convertible down, listening to music. Just listening to music, convertible down. I ain't going to, I don't care. I could have landed in Savannah, Georgia. It didn't matter to me. I just put my foot to the metal and just rolled, man. Just rolled. It just felt so good. Shout out to those that got a convertible. And if you have never driven a convertible, rent one. You ain't got to buy one. Rent one. For your birthday, tell yourself, you know what? I am going to rent a convertible. And it doesn't have to be a fancy schmancy convertible. Just rent you a convertible, and I'm telling you, bro, it's a whole different experience. You say, my birthday weekend, I'm going to rent a convertible. And I'm telling you, man, you'll love it. He said, I like taking the Amtrak down from Irving to San Diego because of the view. Oh, man, come on now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's finish off the video.
But that is a regret that I didn't do it while I was a lot younger. To take the big regret. You know, I'm 69 years old, and one of the things I regret is that I waited too long to take the big trips of a lifetime.
This is so sad.
Still haven't done it, hoping that I can in the next few years, but that is a regret that I didn't do it while I was a lot younger. You know what they say, the go-go 60s, the slow-go 70s, and the no-go 80s. What's your experience with that? Let me know in the comments, and as always, a like, a share, and a follow would be great, and tell us about your regrets.
Top 5 biggest regrets people have on their deathbed.
Top 5 biggest regrets that people have on their deathbeds.
They probably regret not spending more time with their kids.
Not spending time with their friends and family was number 4, actually.
Not making been number 1 or 2.
Probably not making more money.
Yeah, no, that wasn't on there.
Not traveling more.
Notice that not making more money is not what people think about on their deathbed. Even Steve Jobs was a billionaire and regretted focusing so much on work before he died. If I was Steve Jobs and I'm already a billionaire, I'd have been left Apple because I know I'm dying. And maybe he was so much in the habit of working and that's all he knew. But I'm telling you guys, don't let work be all you know. Okay, here we go. Y'all ready? I'm about to give you a stat that's going to hit you. Do you know that the average American dies 5 years after retirement? Did you know that? I've been knowing that one for years. We are programmed to work so much that when it's time to stop and work on self and focus on self and we don't know how to do that. 5 years, the average American only lasts. If you retire at 62, you might make it to 67 to 69. If you retired at 65, as an American, you might make it to 71, 72. The average American is so programmed to work, we never prepare. We prepare ourselves economically for retirement, but we never prepare ourselves for what we're going to do after retirement. And we fall off like a leaf in the autumn. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So guys, let's like the first one said, first on the list, we work too much.
Not traveling more. So that was actually number 5. They didn't allow themselves to be happier. So not necessarily traveling, but they didn't do things that they enjoyed. So you got number 5 and number 4. At number 3 is they regretted not expressing how they truly felt. The second thing is that they would have avoided working so hard. So a lot of them felt like, man, I just worked my whole life. And what does it get me, man? And the number one regret people had on their deathbed was that they didn't live a life true to themselves. They lived a life based on what other people expected them to do.
Here are 7 destructive habits.
That was the last one, but that was a good one. He said, number 1, living the life that other people expected you to live. Yep, DJ, will work you to death. Living a life that other expected you to live instead of living the life that you wanted. You know, one of the things that, before I let you guys go, one of the things that makes the marriage so easy with Andrea, I married somebody that has an expectation of life other than just going to work. Nothing wrong with going to work, making your money, stacking your cash, right? Nothing wrong with that. I love the fact that I'm married to a person that loves to travel. That's not everybody. A lot of you guys will fall in love with a woman. She is sexy, but she is afraid to get on a plane. Some of y'all may, and I heard this one several times from brothers who've reached out to me, and I've mentioned this before. Excuse me. I keep forgetting to clean this from all the dust that was from the earthquake. I got to do that after the show. Some of you brothers will meet a woman in another country, marry her, bring her back to the States, which is great. Marriage in the States is going great. But when you ask her to travel with you, I've talked to so many guys that their wives that they brought back to the States will not travel with them. Once she makes it to the States and she met you as a traveler, and these guys are, and I've literally talked to guys, not just one guy or two guys. I've literally talked to guys that brought women back to the States. And once that woman got to the States, she's not going to Italy. She's not going back to her. She does not want to go back to Brazil. No, she does not want to go back to Thailand. Hell no, you ain't gonna never get her to go to Vietnam. She doesn't want to see Europe. She does. Some of y'all gonna marry a woman and her only flight has ever been was to your country, back to United States. I'll say this again. Some of y'all are dating women that ain't never flew nowhere a day in their life. And the only time that they will have that one flight is when you fly her back home to your home country and she never wants to get on a plane again. You better vet these chicks when it comes to travel. Does this chick have a passport? See, with Andrea, I didn't have to wait for no passport. She already had hers. Some of y'all dating and falling in love with chicks in these countries, and these chicks ain't even got a passport. You can't take her nowhere. But she got a big butt and a smile. Don't bring people in your life that will cause you to live in regrets later on. Don't bring people into your life that will cause you to live with regrets later on, especially when it comes to travel. I refuse to be with a woman that does not have a passport and is not ready to travel. And one of the signs that she is not ready to travel, she does not have a passport. I'm just putting it out there. Rico said, I guess I made it. I know, right? Slim said this. Shout out to Slim Bit in the building. Slim said this when he said, she probably thinks her man is going to take her back, return to sender. Even if she's from Vietnam, and I thought that too. Even if she's from Vietnam, right, for example, and he says, let's fly to Canada. They don't want to fly to Canada. I know one dude said, he said this, true story. Me and Andre met him over dinner. It was a bunch of us having dinner, and he was from New York. And he said, I could come to Colombia and all of South America to cheat all I want. And we're looking at him like, okay. We don't know where that came from. And so he told us the story. He met this beautiful Calenia here in Cali. Really nice, treats him well. Asked her parents, is it okay if I take her back to the States with me? Parents said, cool. But he said to her, months later, let's travel here, let's travel. She never wanted to go anywhere. Once she got to New York, she never wanted to go anywhere. That was the only time she ever got on a plane, and she's never been on a plane again. He says, I'm a traveler. I met her as a traveler. And so he says, you know what? I travel by myself around the world now. So I got women everywhere. He said, I would love to take her with me, but she doesn't want to go. And like I said, that's not the only story I've heard of. When you bring them back to the States, they don't want to go anywhere ever again. That was the only time they ever got on a plane. They were already scared doing that. If I meet a Colombiana and I got to help her get her passport, yeah, she just going to get smashed and I got to get rid of her. There is no way in the world I'm going to be with a chick that ain't got no passport. He said, I've dated women like that when I was younger. She wasn't interested in living abroad. I knew then that it wouldn't work. He said, I beat that stat. Shout out to T-Mac. He said, I beat that 5-year stat. Yeah, man. But I just want to do this particular episode to encourage men that are younger and give advice from us older men and let you guys know, live the best life that's possible. When you're under 40, because hey, we're gonna live the best life that's possible while we are over 40. So shout out to all you guys. Oh, that's a deal breaker. All day long. If I meet you, I don't care if I like you. If I find out that you don't have a passport, you ain't got to worry about it. That's how I was. For real. I vetted everything, bruh. Y'all thought I just was playing vetting? No, I vetted everything. Andrea checked off all the boxes. Like, nobody's perfect, but I was like, okay, cool. She got this. Okay, there we go. Andrea was checking off crazy boxes. No passport. What the? No passport means that you just want to get smashed. You ain't trying to go nowhere. She just trying to get smashed. Yes, sir. Zeta said, yeah. He said, I felt that way too. She at least have to have a passport. At least a passport. See, even me. See, if I was on Tinder, I'm serious. If I was on Tinder, I'm looking for the chicks that I can see. She's been to Greece. Oh. She's been to Portugal. Oh, swipe. Oh, wow. She's been to Times Square. Now I can holler at you. You ain't never seen nothing and you don't want to do nothing, but you a Colombiana or a Brazilian chick or a Venezuelan chick, and you just look good, man. No, I'm past, dude. I've been past that stage of just your big button and smile. No. You can get smashed, but as far as taking a person serious, no, man, you gotta have a passport. That's a must do. Obi says, he said, what happens when she can't get her visa renewed? I don't know. I guess you return the sender. I guess you send her back. I don't know. That's a good question. Shout out to all you guys that support the channel by way of PayPal, Cash App, Super Chats, Patreon. Shout out to all you guys. Make sure that we all get to the Black Manosphere Conclave. Make sure that we do that. Let me pull that information up. The Black Manosphere Conclave 7.0. Let me pull it up on screen before I'll let you go. All right. So here's where you go to get your ticket. And the ticket covers all the 3-day event. And then right here, let's go to the event. Or are we going here? Let me scroll down. Let me make sure I get everything. Meetings. Shout out to Kofor. I'm trying to get to the portion where it tells everything about the event. I guess I'm on the wrong page. News. Let us see. Okay, here we go. Shout out to the brothers. Got Theo's graduates on there. So the 3-day event, live speakers, so forth and so forth. Got your boy Dre. I'll be talking about on Saturday. I'll be talking about taxes as an expat, travel benefits, yes, sir, and business opportunities for expats. Yes, sir. There are opportunities out there that guys do not realize. We talked about that. So let's look at the full agenda. And Friday speakers. Let me drop the link, by the way, for the full agenda. Put that right there for you guys. And right here. So you got the full agenda. Shout out to Shannon. I just was talking to Shannon a few moments ago, too, before the show. So you have all the speakers and then Saturday speakers. Shout out to Pablo Frescobar, who will be speaking on Saturday as well. And then I'll be on the main event speaking. And then the cost for each ticket. And if you want to watch it virtually from home, you can watch it from home. And so it tells you all the details there, and the hotel accommodation information is there as well. So you can look up all the answers that you need to answer each one of your questions. So let's go to the hotel accommodations. It's at the Hampton, only $99. So if I were you, I would get there at the 10th, because that's when most of us will get there, September 10th. These are what the rooms look like. Not bad. This is the lobby area, the pool area, the classroom area. All right. So I've already dropped the link. We're going to be talking about this each day. The Black Manosphere Conclave. Yep. In Vegas. In Vegas. So shout out to all you guys that I'm going to be meeting there. Zeta says this. He said, the brightest day and blackest night. All right now. All right now. You know I recognize that. All you Green Lantern fans, in the brightest day and blackest night, no country shall escape my... Come on now, Green Lantern fans. Stand up. Shall escape my sight. Beware my travels, passports might. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you know, you know. All right, gentlemen, let's get ready to head up out of here. We had a good time tonight. Let me let you guys get some rest. And I'll be seeing you guys mañana. See you guys tomorrow. Let's do an outro video. Let's do... We can always go back to the cowgirl.
You got me overthinking. Yeah, where we could be. Needed some clarity. I'm in too deep now. Get up a picture. Fantasies. Just you and me. Like it's meant to be. Can't you see, baby? You got me overthinking. You come closer to my body. A delicate touch of instinct. Moving slow, but my heart's racing. Yeah. Your fingers sliding down my chest. What do you want from me? Lately it's been nothing but a mystery. Curiosity has got me wondering if this'll be alright. I want you in my life for more than the night. You got me overthinking. Yeah, where we could be. Needed some clarity. I'm in too deep now. Get up a picture. Fantasies. Just you and me. Like it's meant to be. Can't you see, baby? You got me overthinking. Yeah, you got me overthinking. You got me overthinking. You got me overthinking. You got me overthinking. Yeah, you got me overthinking. You got me overthinking. You got me overthinking. Okay. Yeah. Logically, it don't make sense to me. I don't see what you see. From making me wait to call you my lady. Making me contemplate, trying to calculate what your signs state. Tell me why hesitate. Why you keeping me at bay? Don't wanna be in the gray. Baby, I really love your curves, but I need my answer straight. Do you want from me? Lately it's been nothing but a mystery. Curiosity has got me wondering if this'll be alright. I want you in my life more than just a night.